Sup, punks? Welcome to RockMental. We're here gonna kick some ass, talk about music, talk about our feelings, what we normally do, and we're gonna have some fun. So without further ado, we have a kick-ass episode for you guys to enjoy, and hopefully y'all can also engage and let us know what you think, and we'll get started. I'm your boy Chaotic. I'm your resident metalhead.
Hey, I'm Mayhem. I like a lot of stuff.
I'm Groompy. I'm in my feels a lot.
He's our emo guy.
You can't tell. It's all good.
All right. So here at RockMental, if you haven't joined us before, we feel that the mosh pit is a perfect analogy for life. It's dirty. It's loud. There's just people running into each other.
Mm-hmm.
It can be intimidating sometimes. But if you look really, really closely and see how beautiful it is in there, people helping each other, watching out for each other. That is what we're about. This is what we are trying to instill, a community that we normalize helping each other and talking about our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And we do this through our mosh pit mentality mantra. So for everybody out there, if you're watching us here, we'll go ahead and lift our horns. Repeat after me. If you hit the ground,
If you hit the ground,
put your hand up.
put your hand up.
If you see a hand up,
If you see a hand up,
put your hand out.
put your hand out.
Ask,
Ask,
answer.
answer.
That's how we rage to see another show.
That's where we wish to see another show.
Nobody moshes alone.
Nobody moshes alone.
Remember that.
We mean that a lot because
Yes.
that's what we're here for, right? As a community, as rockers, as punks, as metalheads, whatever moniker you go by, we're all in this crazy ass thing together, and we're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we also part of our team. We got Figured, our producer in the back. He controls our make sure we look good, make sure we sound good, and he's got some stuff for you.
Yeah, so check us out at rockmental.com and make sure you hit us up on our socials at RockMental Official on everything, pretty much.
Everything.
What don't we have? X?
Well,
not sure.
is TikTok banned or not banned, or what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
I don't know.
if you still have TikTok.
Apparently we're on there. I don't know.
I don't know if we have any posts or anything, but yeah.
If it's back, then okay, we're there. But I don't
For
know.
all the young
Yeah.
guys.
For all you, yeah.
And then obviously rockmental.com, please check us out there. We have a lot of stuff there. Mental health resources as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cool. So how was this week, guys?
Better than last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Better than last week. Still busy, but
Still not great, but
yeah.
It's it was a interesting week, like just in general, with a lot of craziness happening in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of tragedies happen, with the plane crashes and stuff like that, and sometimes those things can bring out some triggering events, right? Like for us old enough to remember 9/11, right? That was a crazy.
Yep.
I remember that's kind of the same sentiment and uneasiness I felt. Obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to families and everyone affected by both the one in DC and the horrible crash yesterday in Philadelphia.
Philly.
But sometimes those things can get us, may not be here at home, and they may not be, directly affecting us, with us or families or whatnot. But those things happen, and it's sometimes a difficult thing to get over, especially those who have either gone through similar traumas or have had different experiences related to that. So sorry to start off on a serious note, but I think it's a good time for us to kind of home back together and come back and just say, you know what, we're in this crazy ass world together. We're going to keep going. We're obviously going to honor the people who were lost in these tragedies, but you know what? We're going to keep going on. That's what we do. We're going to honor them by doing that. And so that's kind of what I felt this week.
Yeah, but we're part of what we consume, and the news is part of what we consume.
Yeah, fortunately and unfortunately,
yeah.
right?
yeah, true. And just in general, our country's going through a huge change, and adjusting to that can be very stressful as well.
Yeah.
So myself and Mrs. Mayhem, we kind of at night, it's getting dark, like 6:30. We're like exhausted.
Yeah.
But we still have kids to have to
To
get
tend
ready
to,
for bed,
yeah.
make sure they're getting fed. And it's just a lot, adding that stress on top of just your regular life. I think a lot of people are going through that, and I think it's important to talk about that, not necessarily in a political way, but just in how it affects us. I mean, it affects every single one of us here. We got to talk about it. Whether you agree with what's happening or not, I mean, a change is a change. It's going to be something all of us have to get used to, our new normal.
Exactly. Regardless, it's going to be rough. But, one thing that we can do, and hopefully something that the music that we're going to bring up here pretty soon is going to talk to, is just, we're more similar than not. We're more alike in our experiences than not. And I think we need to keep reminding ourselves that and keep true to our not only rock values, but our human values, right? So that's kind of how I took all the stuff.
Going back to the mosh pit analogy, like, you're in there, it's chaos.
Yeah.
But in the midst of chaos, you see a hand coming up from the floor.
That's right.
You just pick them up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they are, who they love, who they voted for, what their politics are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're a person in need. You get them up off the floor. I'll brush them off, make sure they're okay, and you continue raging.
That's right.
And I think that's something that really resounded with me over this past week, because it's just a lot of stuff going on. A lot of, I think, change triggers things in people.
Yep.
A lot of people are just scared of change in general.
Yeah.
So
and
it can be scary times.
Exactly. It's uncomfortable, but we can also present opportunities.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's what we need to focus on is, is there an opportunity for us to get closer as a community, as people, as families, and take advantage of those opportunities? Because guess what? There's going to be not too many of those. If we learn anything this week, life is short, and
absolutely,
we shouldn't hold on to grudges, and especially for those of us going through mental health challenges like depression and anxiety, these are triggering things. And so let's be there for one another, help each other up from the floor, just like in the mosh pit, dust ourselves off, make sure we're good to go, and watch out for one another. I think that's all we can do, right?
Yes.
I agree with that.
Cool. Well, I didn't mean to start off that way, but I think it's time to get into music. What do you guys think?
Let's do some music.
I'm depressed. All right, let's get to music.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. Let's go down.
All right, let's see. Who are we going to be talking about first?
You know what? Let's set up the rules. I know we might have a lot of new listeners. So, we do a lot of extensive research. We listen to a lot of music during the week. A lot of music. And we have our daily playlist that we try to put this music in for your guys' enjoyment. So out of that, we usually like to pick one band that just moved us the most that particular week and present that band with 2 songs and present them to you, our viewers. Welcome in the comments which one you like the most. If you guys want to say we try not to say there's a winner who has the best band, but in reality I usually do.
We like to let them think that.
Yes.
It's okay, dude. It's okay.
Yeah. No, but really these are up and coming bands that don't have a lot of followers, and really it's just, we just want to shine, give them a spotlight and have them shine, have the little moment of shining within our show.
Yep.
So without further ado, I believe who's going first this week?
Well, I do want to address the elephant in the room and something that's been bothering me this whole time.
What's that?
Groompy shaved.
Dude.
Hey! He shaved.
He did.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It was itchy.
If y'all don't know what we're talking about, watch our previous episodes. You'll understand.
Yeah. I don't know why I was trying to hide this beautiful face, but
it's beautiful.
It's pretty hot in here too.
It's pretty hot. I got some rash last episode.
It got a little stinky too.
Yeah.
That's just my regular. That's just pheromones.
That's all right. Groompy shaved. So that's hashtag Groompy shaved. Okay.
That's good.
All right. Let's start with Mayhem.
All right. So my band for this week is actually a band that I have been listening to for quite a while. Their debut record came out early last year.
Okay.
I am a huge fan of this band, huge fanboying for a long time. These guys actually are kind of annoyed by me in this band. It's the Pale from Germany.
Okay.
I play this record all the time, so these guys are very familiar with them. I want to introduce them to you all. Given everything going on with our country, a lot of politics, which we don't get into here very much, but just a lot of discontent, and I think this band really encapsulates that.
Yeah.
Mr. Producer, what are you? Producer, engineer, both? Yes. All right. Let's start with song number 1, Salary Man, at 1 minute 25 seconds, please.
Oh, dang.
Definition of punk.
Right there.
Yeah. It's got all the good ones: Dead Kennedys, Black Flag.
Social distortion.
Social distortion. Spoken, well, not really spoken word, more like
Yelling.
shouted word.
Yeah.
And the music kicks ass.
Oh yeah.
Guitar.
This is like how you want your punk, you know?
Yes. In your face.
No apologies.
No apologies. I am not happy, and everyone is gonna know about it.
And everyone should know about
And
it.
everybody
right?
should know about it. This band is incredible. I really had a hard time just whittling down to 2 songs. So this next song I picked only because she called me a whore, and I think just play this song.
You liked it, didn't you? You liked
20
it.
seconds. I did like it.
Yeah, I did too.
This is government whore.
This is Government Whore.
Oh,
Dang.
Yep. This is my just proud face.
Jeez.
Yep.
Dang. I'm like envisioning a really dank, small, sweaty bar with people moshing.
no. A basement.
A basement,
Basement of just nothing but pure moshing.
right? And just people like just demolishing the place.
Dude, the perfect like 60-second song
Yeah.
to just rage to, and like they don't even give you a break.
No.
Sometimes, man. It is an awesome record. It's called Hollywood Smile. Came out again last year. I've been jamming it for months now. I seriously think that record is really, really great. You all should check them out on Spotify. Only 2.4 thousand 2,400 monthly listeners. Sorry, I misspoke there.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
Jeez.
They're really fucking good, you guys. So the dynamics of this band are kind of crazy. So the actual part of the band that formed with these 4 guys, the drummer Sacha, bassist Jan, guitarist Philip and Tobias from Germany. They have been on the scene since like the 90s, early aughts with bands like Superfan, the Monochords, and Coach.
Yep.
Got back together recently and said, hey, you know what? I think we need a singer. And eventually ran into their lead singer, Sam, who describes herself as a mystical, ghostly punk rock fairy. And she is every bit of that.
Accurate. That's very accurate.
Extremely accurate.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think the result is incredible. Hollywood Smile, just about every song on there is just great. They're on tour, festivals in Europe. Hopefully one day, if they venture into the US, maybe we'll, run into each other. But
why not?
We'll go ahead and let them, present their bands or whatever. But we know who's gonna win this one.
I like the lyric where she said "smile for the camera."
Yeah.
Right. Because I think a lot of situations, we try to put on the happy face, put on the good face. It doesn't matter what you're feeling. It doesn't matter. Smile for the camera. to me, that's kind of what I got out of it. Like, you know, it doesn't matter what you're going through. Just smile. Everything's gonna be fine. Just don't show weakness. And I think a lot of us, you know, who struggle with these things, that feel like that. I mean, a couple of weeks ago we talked about masking and imposter syndrome, and so like that's what it's about, right?
Well, yeah, with the government horror, I mean, yes, obviously it was a very political statement, but going down your route, that song, I see it just like the masking, like not just government, just social media, with peer pressure. People, don't be their whore.
Yeah, do you?
Well, with the first song, Salary Man, like every time you wake up in the morning, like you gotta go to work. Fuck, I gotta get ready for work. Like, it's like, at some point you realize you're not really working for your own benefit. At some point, it feels like, and I think that's kind of what she was alluding to in that song. Is like, this guy knows he's just got to go to work, so he does, and there's no emotion in it anymore, I guess. And I think I kind of have felt that several times, especially recently.
Well, it's a big social commentary, because work and having a job and everything like that is just as much of a part of our lives as anything else, right? We've been watching the show Severance on Apple TV.
Oh God, so good.
Mrs. Chaotic and I enjoy that show. It's just such a great social commentary about work life, right? And I think that's where Salary Man comes in, because I think we felt it, right? We've been in jobs where like, God, I fucking hate this place. Like, I need another job. I need to do something else. We've all been there, and it is a cause of stress. It's been a cause of stress for me in the past. I mean, I've been fired. I've been lost multiple jobs, and just the sheer anxiety and stress and pressure from it, it's real. And so like I like that message. Like, who are you working for? If you're not working for yourself, or you're not working towards your goals, then what are you doing?
I
mean, that's why we're here today with you guys. Cool.
All right, who's our second place? I think it would be Groompy.
Ooh. I was gonna go off more on your point, but I decided to hold it a little bit.
Okay.
To transition in.
Here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
To my band.
We've been working on those transitions.
Yes.
Here we go.
So I actually found this band a couple of weeks ago, but I've been saving them. I've been going through my list of bands that I find that I really like, that I'm like, no, these are worthy of the spotlight. This week I picked Sincere Engineer.
Sincere
Engineer. Small band from the Chicago area.
Okay. Chicago.
Yes, they have about 71,000 monthly listeners right now on Spotify. Up and coming. Few shows out in the Midwest, not too much, but I had a hard time when I first heard him trying to play some on one of our playlists. It's emo. It's those lyrics just drag you through. Yeah, they take you through your feels.
Nice.
It's fast punk thrashy.
Okay.
Fast punk thrashy emo.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's female led.
All right, there you go.
So I had a hard time trying to place them so I was like, why try to place them?
Yeah.
Let's let them be who they are.
Let them be. So this first song, it's called Inside My Head. We'll go a little bit off your point, but fair warning. It's a sad song.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's a sad song.
All right, let's do it. Ready for it.
Mr. Producer, please play it from the beginning.
Where did my will to live go?
Dang, right off the bat.
Yeah.
I worked my fingers right down to the bone. I couldn't think of how to fix it. I blame myself and all the bullshit. Where did my will to live go?
Yeah.
Where did my will to live go?
Your tone is amazing.
Yell right in my face with a megaphone. Convinced myself it wasn't worth the headache. Covered up everything I couldn't fake. Where did my
that build up? You know it's coming.
Yeah.
I can't find it in the cupboard. I can't find it on a map. I can't find it and I'm sad and it's never coming back. I can't find it in the drawer and it's not under the bed. I can't find it on the floor
That's really good.
So it is
Jeez,
very
that's
good.
heavy.
It's heavy.
That's heavy.
It is
right there.
heavy. But I wanted to bring it back to your point of, I was there. I had a job that was, it took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
It was a stressful job. I
Mhm.
worked late hours, and I just didn't have enough.
Yeah.
While you can take that literally, where did my will
Yeah.
to live go? If people feel that way, please reach out. Please
Yeah.
seek help. Personally, I didn't take it too literally, but during this time of my life, it was a very,
Mhm.
I was in a depression, and like, where did my will to be me,
Yeah.
to get out, to just live my life like I used to? Like,
Yeah.
oh God, this song just resonated with me.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, and like the will to live, this isn't necessarily like a life or death thing. Like
No.
your will to
Mhm.
like be you, like you said, like are you actually living and enjoying your life, or are
Exactly.
you just going through the motions? You're getting up, you're brushing your teeth, you're putting your uniform on, you go to work, you come back home. Like, are you doing the same thing over and over again? Right?
There's like no fulfillment. And I think,
Yeah.
going through, the challenges in my life, I talk about hitting rock bottom, and just losing that desire just for anything. Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
even
Exactly.
the something as simple as like taking a shower is like this huge
Yeah,
ordeal.
Exactly.
And trying to explain that to someone who's never experienced depression is impossible. I think
Yes.
this song is like goes to that extreme, because it's not necessarily saying like she's ready to hurt herself. It's
Yeah.
more like, I just don't have the desire right now
I
to
don't
do
have the
anything.
desire, and I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where it, and then it goes back to also, having to explain the people that were closest to me is like, it's, it's not you. It's not, it's not the people that I love
Yeah.
that are the reason why I'm here. It's my own reason.
Yeah.
Then where do I find that reason? Where do I find to get myself out of this
Yeah.
funk?
Yep.
It's, oh man.
And even after I've been in treatment for like a decade, and it's still tough sometimes.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you're like, I gotta do this again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's always little things that'll take you back to that.
Mhm.
And I mean, the song's tone is perfect. It's not necessarily a sad, even though it is sad, it's not like a sad song.
Yeah.
It's just kind of monotone, almost
Exactly.
flat.
Well, and how to me it resonates with me because like this sounds like my internal monologue sometimes.
Exactly.
Like it's like I think a lot of people can relate. Like these are some of the messages that we tell ourselves. Like, geez, where did my life go? Like,
Yep.
what happened? Where am I? Like, why is this not, better? Or this isn't what I thought it was going to be, right? So I totally get that. It's a really good song. I mean, the intro is just heavy and filled all the feels, and then the chord, the breakdown comes in,
Yeah.
and you can hear the emo and the punk really.
But and we had to kind of like stop it after like close to a minute. But if you listen, I encourage you guys listen to the full song. It just keeps going faster and harder and harder, and it just really exemplifies that eventually, you want to burst out.
Yeah.
I this song has been really, I had been talking to these guys. Your boy Groompy's a runner.
He's in a lot better shape than I am. I will tell you that.
But I really had to, today, this week, I had a hard time. Like we were like just getting up, just doing something, man.
Yep.
And I'd put my headphones on. I'm like, I'm gonna force myself to run today.
Yeah.
Just force it. And this is one of the songs actually, I'm being honest, this was the first song I would play just as motivation. I'm like, where is it? I'm like, well, I'm gonna go out there and find it, and just force myself to go out there, be active, do something, and not let myself just like lay in that funk and keep myself down there.
Yeah.
And I think in treatment I've learned, whenever you have to do something and you just absolutely have no motivation to do it, just do the first step.
Yeah.
And I've learned, like, something as simple as taking a shower, you just don't want to do it.
Yes.
Get up and turn the water on.
Yep.
That's it. And guess what? It's just automatic after that. It's like this lie that keep telling yourself, like, I can't do this. I can't do this. But then you do step one and your body takes over. It's incredible how much control your brain has over just simple things like that. But at the same time, how simple it is to defeat those ideas, I guess. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned being in treatment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure. And like you said, a lot of times, like, you know, New Year's resolutions, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to exercise and do something. And, you know, you do all, you're well-intentioned and you do all these things. You say, tomorrow I'm going to get up. Tomorrow I'm going to go for that run. Tomorrow I'm going to hit the gym. Tomorrow I'm going to eat right. Tomorrow I'm going to make my overnight oats tonight, right? And in that way I would good. And, you know, lo and behold, you miss your alarm clock, and then your brain automatically goes to, well, there goes that. You know,
We'll start again until next week.
Transition to the next song.
That's what we do around here.
That's what we do right here. Like I said, Groompy always winning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next song that we have, it's called Overbite. Overbite. Yes, and it kind of goes to the point that you were just talking about, Mr. Producer, beautiful producer. Can we play it, please, from the get-go?
The voice is awesome, by the way.
Yes.
Dang.
I love her voice.
Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing. Shout out Deanna Bellows, lead singer. She's kind of like a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
But oh my god, yeah.
There you go.
Very distinctive,
Yeah, very distinctive voice. That she has that kind of that punk grasp.
Yeah, you could tell.
Some of those songs take that.
Yeah, it's gonna sound weird. She also has like a dashboard confessional.
Yes, I can
like,
hear that.
Tone, like, you know,
but still also a little bit raw. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of who would be a good example.
But you know what? Like, to your like the raw, it just you can feel her pain in her voice, or like like it just sends the message through even more.
Yeah.
And going to your old point, this song really is about, in my interpretation, you know, knowing that you like at the first line says, I could have been the doctor if I wanted to. Like, knowing you have the potential, but do you have the drive?
Exactly.
Do you have the motivation? Do you have the discipline?
Yeah.
And, you know, it just speaks of the struggle of having that drive, having that discipline.
Exactly. Well, and a lot of times, like, especially those starting off in a career, or they're going to college and not knowing what to do with their life, or not going to college, whatever. And a lot of times I think what society in general pushes us to do is like, well, do something you're good at. But something probably the best career advice I've gotten is like, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very true.
And so I think you got to find that medium, right? Like being, that balance between being good at something and liking something, because you can like something and totally suck at it.
Yes.
Like me and the guitar,
Me and video games.
Yep. Or you can be really, really good at something, but not particularly enjoy it. True. And so it's like trying to find that happy medium where it's something where you're good at, but you still feel a challenge, and you want to, kind of break through and work hard to overcome some of those challenges and get better at it. But at the same time, it's gotta be something that you mildly like. Yeah. And I think that balance will also help you keep in line of like, okay, this is my work stuff, but family, things at home, whatever else is also just as equal to work. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not just about work, but I mean, in general, I think it's a really great message.
Again, check him out. Sincere Engineer, Chicago area. I know they're out in the Midwest. They're in Columbus. They're in Buffalo. Or they're gonna be in Buffalo, and by late March, April, they'll be back in the Chicago area.
Yep.
I have a brother in Chicago. I might go visit and
There you go.
maybe go see Sincere
There
Engineer.
it is. Cincinnati Engineer. There you go.
But yeah, 70,000 listeners. I believe they just this past year came out with their latest album, which is their third album, 2023. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But yes, please check them out. It's just raw. It's painful. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It
That's really
gets you
good.
in the feels.
That's
So
that's what you want out of it. That's what you want out of emo band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you right in there.
That's right.
Hey, so Psyduck 266 says our new setup is really, really cool. And I have to agree, yes.
I think so.
We
you
just
get my good side.
we just polished off the camera a little bit. Hopefully it's a
Give
little
some
bit clearer.
Windex.
Can you see us a little bit better? Yeah.
You
Cool.
can tell I didn't shave this week. You know.
Yeah.
You can tell.
You can tell I did.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Duck or Mrs. Duck. We appreciate you watching.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We were trying to make this a little more conversation, make you part of the conversation, and that way we can all have a good time.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll take over as the person who's going to win this week.
Third place, maybe.
Again, I went with a different strategy. So I'm
Okay.
finding my bands for the week, right? I figure, you know what? I'm going to go the other way. So I'm going to start looking for bands to add to the playlists, and I've been adding to the playlists.
Okay.
And I just like, okay, which one of these bands really popped out for me? You know, which one really spoke to me? Which one did I not like? Could I not stop listening to?
Well,
You know, right?
That's exactly what I found.
And
Sincere
so
Engineer.
exactly. And so I came up with this kick-ass band from California. There's a metalcore band called Cerebellion, which
okay.
I will vote for should be the new name for ADHD,
Cerebellium.
because that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
These guys are awesome. They're twin brothers. One's the singer, one's a guitarist. They have a kick-ass sound. It reminds me of like those metalcore band like Kill Switch Engage, Trivium. Like they have that same crunchy like breakdowns, but the lyrics are awesome. We're gonna start off a minute and 20 seconds into this first song. It's called Through Darkness. Mr. Engineer, let's do it.
Okay. Pulling from my Valentine in there a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
You're so good, dude.
Yeah.
Just driving, man.
This is exactly what I need
Yeah.
midweek.
Oh yeah.
It gives you that kick in the ass,
Yeah.
but like the lyrics are so motivating. Like
Yeah.
when I was listening to the song, I just imagined myself running, because I don't run in real life. I probably should, but imagine like running up a steep hill, right? And you're just like, oh, it's just I can't make it. Like, what's gonna happen? This is the song you want
Or
blasting.
just-
in your
it's
headphones.
Tuesday for me.
Just get your ass out of bed and take a shower. Technically,
That could be your steep hill.
that could just be my.
That could be
yeah.
your steep hill. But I love this song because like it talks about through darkness, even though it seems hopeless, you're gonna find your light.
Oh yeah.
So like to me, this is such a great message of like it says forces causing you to lose hope, causing these triggering moments. And so like the band is badass. Like the music is just raw, it's crunchy, it's in your face. But this guy, he doesn't belt or whatever. He's singing.
Yeah.
You know, he's singing. He's hitting that high note. You know, the light is like that's like great. I can hit that note. But like it's so raw, and I just loved it. It kicked my ass this week. I couldn't just. I kept putting on repeat and repeat. That's also a very ADHD thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? It just listen to the same song over and over. Drives Miss Chaos insane, but it's awesome. So yeah, that was the first song.
Well, and imagine the chemistry you need to have with your, especially in metal, with everybody.
Yeah.
It is such a difficult style of music to play. but then having your twin right next to
Yeah.
you can't get any deeper chemistry than that. So you can tell that they're tuned in into what
Oh,
they're
yeah.
yeah, you can definitely tell. I'm actually surprised that you found someone
Yeah.
that's good.
Well,
No offense.
well, actually, so I will owe it to the band I featured last week, Lockjaw. So I follow Lockjaw on Instagram. And they post up their stuff. They actually follow Cerebellion.
Okay.
In fact, they actually put up some pretty funny videos on Instagram. They have they have a pretty good following on Instagram.
Okay.
I think they have like 4,000 or 5,000 followers. On Spotify, they have about just north of 11,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. But they actually have some funny videos. So they'll take like whatever funny videos out there, and then they'll incorporate the music into it. It's actually really funny, really cool, like the screams and like stuff like that. So like, I don't know, some video of some girl walking and falls and she yells and like it just flips over to the band. It's like, "Rah!" It's hilarious. It's funny. Check them out on Instagram. They actually have some really funny things. They incorporate their families and their wives into it too.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really cool. I think they're our age,
Okay.
these guys. So you can tell they're a little white and gray in the beard like I am as well. So I'm just gonna assume that but they're really awesome. But I think this next song I'm gonna get into, it's called Now or Never. This kind of goes into some of the things that we just talked about, like making the change. This talks more about societal change. One of their biggest things as a band is they talk about societal change and how to bring about, making things better. So this song really tucks into that. I'm gonna start off and I'll riff after, but the lyrics start right away, and this one just kicks ass. This one, I had this one on repeat for a long time. So this is Now or Never by Cerebellion. A better way. Heavy right. I think it's double time right here. Damn.
They're really good.
Damn.
Very good.
They're polished. Like the licks, the riffs are clean. The transitions, like this reminds me of Trivium, all the time signature changes.
Yeah.
The jumps from halftime to double time, the freaking bass pedal going, and like you can tell these guys have been playing for a while because they're just so in sync. It's so crisp, it's polished, it's just badass.
I know, it's really good. And what I do, like when I'm listening to music like this, like who does this sound like? But I can't do that because I'm just thrown off by so much going on.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I hear like Bullet for a little bit, and then it changes right away.
Yeah.
It's like a little hint of like what they listen to, but then they kind of just make it their own. And
Exactly.
I love that. I
For me,
really
when
love that.
That one started, it threw me back to Warped Tour days where
Oh, yeah.
the bands, the screamo bands, it just started with
Yeah, right into lyrics.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
I like it. I
Like-
like their sound.
That's why I say Trivium, because like it's not necessarily like they had the same sound,
Yeah.
but they had the same approach. Like the alternate time signatures,
Mhm.
the syncopation, right, and then the switching. They're in the middle of the chorus and they go from halftime to double time, and they're still singing the chorus. Like that's badass. Like that's cool. Not a lot of bands can pull it off.
No,
Music nerd.
Music nerd right here.
super music.
That's
nerd.
right. No, it just kicks ass. And what the song is talking about is just like, are we? Is this really it? Like, are we really doing this? Are we treating each other this way? So it's like now or never. Basically, we have to make the change to better ourselves, to better our society, and to just get along better, right? You think like a metalcore band wouldn't be talking about how we should get along, but that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly what a mosh is.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're getting along. Like it's organized chaos in its
It
finest.
is.
And that's what basically our society is, right?
Mhm.
And I think this one really talks to about like a lot of the struggles that we talked about earlier on in the show about, what's happening in the world and what's happening in our country. Like, this song is really a good testament into like, we need to take a look at ourselves.
Yep.
We need to take a look at how we're treating each other, how shitty we're treating each other. And is this really it? Is this really how we want to act and how we want to carry ourselves? Like, is this how we're really going to do it? And of course, they're saying no. So, now or never is that, like, are we going to change this now? Because we have to change it now, or it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now, we're definitely in a crux in our society to do that. And so that's kind of the sort of relation between what we're doing here with RockMental and with our mosh pit mentality, right? We're trying to make that social change. We're trying to get people to change the way they think about ourselves and how we interact with one another.
Just normalize talking about it. Like,
exactly.
None of us here are mental health professionals. Please don't take. We're not giving advice. Please don't take our advice. We're speaking from our experience here. If you are experiencing crisis right now, dial 988. If you know somebody who's experiencing a crisis right now, 988. It's simple. They give you the resources to address these things. Go find a professional, but also just talk about it. This is what we do when we're off camera, is just talk about stuff. And one thing you're going to hear us say a lot is fuck the stigma. Like, there's so much stigma going on that's attached to mental health. More than half of people will experience some sort of mental health issue in their life. And we can't talk about that because of a stigma. Fuck that. Let's talk about it. Let's get all of this out so like that we can deal with it as a community.
And if anyone's out there telling you shouldn't talk about your feelings or you need to hold your emotions in, fuck that.
Fuck the comfort, dude. Seriously. Like, if they're uncomfortable,
that's their problem.
That's their problem. Fuck them. Go talk to somebody who will listen.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we go back. Put your hand out. Ask for help. Somebody should be there to answer. And that's what we are trying to do. This community that we aren't afraid of dealing with the heavy stuff.
Exactly. And, like Mayhem said, if you're dealing with something, absolutely talk to someone. 988 is a great place to start. Another great place to start is someone you really trust, a friend, a sibling, a parent, someone who knows you and wants the best for you. Start there.
And guys, as someone who started therapy last year, guess what? It was a surprise to me. It actually helps.
It works.
It works.
Hashtag therapy works.
If you all would have seen me 10 years ago before I started this, I'm a completely different person.
Yeah. And the thing about therapy too is, like, you don't need to seek therapy when shit has hit the fan. You don't have to wait until like you're in this place to go nowhere. If like you're just lost and need some guidance and just need you get your bearings straight. Therapy is a great place to start.
Oh yes, definitely.
Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of the stigma.
Yeah.
And it's worth a try.
Yeah.
It's always worth a try.
And for those of you who may know someone, a friend, a family member, someone you work with, who whatnot, and you're not sure, is this my place? Is I don't know if it's right. It absolutely is. Yes. It is absolutely your right. It is absolutely your responsibility. If you know something's off, you need to bring it up. Talk to them, see what's going on. Even if you don't know what the first step is, the first step is just ask them and listen.
Absolutely. Asking someone if they're going to harm themselves or thinking about harming themselves won't make them harm themselves.
No, it won't.
Honestly, they will probably tell you if they are. Just 988. Yeah. Honestly, it's the best thing that you can do. Just get some help. We do have some resources on our webpage, rockmental.com/help. Seriously, just help.
Yeah. We're all one community. We're all punks. We're all rockers. We're all metalheads. We're all here in the same mosh pit that we call life. Yes, we're going to use that metaphor a lot. Deal with it. But, what else can we do? So that's what we're here for. And so definitely, absolutely get some help and you'll be on your way. And we hope to see you in the pit soon.
Okay. All right. So what do we got for the next section?
Well, after me winning this week's selection.
Sure. Ooh. So, I guess we're gonna have to go to playlists.
Okay, playlists. Let's explain to our audience what the playlist is.
So the playlist, obviously we listen to a lot of music all week. We would love to feature every band that we have listened to over the past week. It is so hard. For me, this was especially trying, only because there's just so many great bands out there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and talk about a playlist. We have a playlist for every day of the work week, Monday through Friday, and each of them represents something different to us. So the first playlist we call Morrissey Monday. We call it that because everybody hates Mondays, and literally everybody hates Morrissey. Everybody does.
With a passion.
With a passion. He's just not very well liked. Anyways, this is music that is just grungy and grimy, got a lot of attitude, and just getting in that mindset to deal with the week. So for my bands this week, Abdomen,
okay,
from the Netherlands, a nice Dutch band. Only 369 listeners per month on Spotify, which is just ridiculous. These guys are awesome. They remind me a lot of, imagine if the Whores and the Doors did like some naughty stuff, like in Minecraft did a lot of carrots and like made a baby, like a little baby. This is just great. They're just so good. They have like a nice real dark sound like the Whores, and the lead singer's voice just reminds me so much of Jim Morrison. It's incredible.
This takes me back to Game of Thrones. Hodor. Sorry, ADHD segue. Anyways,
back off the tangent. All right, and my second band for Morrissey Monday is a single artist. Again, you guys know I love Heartworms from the UK. Is a single female artist playing all of the music. Just awesome. She's from Finland. She describes it as like doom gaze alt metal. Really great. Only 13,000 monthly listeners.
Yep.
Awesome. Groompy, who we got?
All right, for Monday, I picked 3 bands. So first one, the main one that I liked, called Computer Kill. Computer Kill. Yes, about 33,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Okay.
I featured 2 songs from them. Sing and Play and Haunted. Now, it's kind of like, I think it would be right up your alley, to be honest.
Okay.
Right. Slow, industrial, kind of dark,
Okay.
punkish, and just very, pretty dark lyrics too. But awesome band. I thought about featuring them. Maybe I will later on as I hear more of their music. But for now, they were my main Morrissey Monday band. Also, I had a band, Nice. That's with 3 I's. Nice.
Okay, so this is not the other Nice with 2 eyes.
No.
This is 3 eyes.
Got 3 eyes. This is 3 eyes. No, about 16,000 listeners on Spotify. The song I featured is called "Sweaty Hands," and it's just I put it there because song's really about sometimes just things suck, and sometimes Mondays just suck.
Yeah. Sometimes your hands get sweaty,
and sometimes
yeah.
And then the last band, Alicia Glass, 2,000 listeners.
Ooh,
That's it. 2,000 listeners. I implore you guys to listen to her. So it's a band, but female led, very, very like punk. And very kind of like the band you presented with us today, the Pills.
Yeah, the Pill. Yeah.
The Pill. I'm sorry. Very just kind of telling a story instead of singing, just singing it loudly.
Yeah.
Song I feature, I Live in the Garage. Just kind of like an fu to people. I'm having a bad day.
Yep.
Don't judge me for it.
Back off.
Yeah. And it's very in your face.
Yeah.
And very like non-apologetic. Alicia Glass, please check them out.
All right, chaotic.
Chaotic.
All right, Morrissey Monday. Pick 2 bands. This first band is called Blue Nicotine. I actually found them on Instagram. For some reason, I find these bands on Instagram. They're really good. These guys are out of Scotland. It's a trio. Really heavy stuff. They remind me of Gin Blossoms, like a little heavy, not in the music, heavy in the lyrics.
Okay.
The singer's amazing. He's got a really awesome voice. You can hear a little Scottish in him, but it's fine.
Okay.
But they remind me a lot of Gin Blossoms in the musicality and some of those like recognizable riffs. Like when a Gin Blossom song starts, like within the first 3 notes, you know, oh, that's Jim.
Oh, Jim Blossoms. Yeah.
Oh, Follow Me Down. I know that one. It has that same mystique, and it's really good. Really heavy. He talks a lot about, you know, how things suck and how things can you know, be really heavy and things like that. So they're really good. Blue Nicotine. My other band is called The Dark. They're a little bit more popular. I think they're upwards towards like the 2030. I actually heard them on Sirius XM radio.
Ooh.
They're getting there. They actually have I think a new album, a new single coming out. But they have a really good song that I put on there. I can't remember just yet because I forgot my notes. I did not bring my notes with me. That's a minus point for me.
Yeah.
But a really good band. They're more of the harder things, a little more core, but a very good song that I put on there. So we'll see. Cool. All right, what's next?
Next, we have our playlist for Tuesday. We call this Taking Back Tuesday. This is where we get, I mean, Tuesdays suck too. So this is where we get our emo, kind of more darker, quieter, shoegazy, dark wave kind of music, kind of get into our feels a little bit. For my edition this week, I picked, you guys know I love a good dark wave, goth kind of band. Some of my favorite bands are like Drab Majesty, another band that I ended, or artist that I added last week, A Night in Athens. I think Night in Athens is what they call themselves. Great band. This band is called Blood Club. Bilingual band out of Chicago, about 60,000 monthly listeners. Really good stuff. They remind me of like an early Twin Tribes. Very good. Groompy, who do you got?
All right. Well, I cheated a little bit because, you know, I featured them, but was that not emo or not? Sincere Engineer.
Okay. I don't think you can get any more emo than that.
And yeah, I featured 2 songs for them here. On the playlist, I think I put 3 or 4.
Okay.
It's just, oh my gosh, in the feels.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know, 2 Chicago bands now, 2 smaller Chicago bands. But yeah, I did put the songs that I featured, and I also put another one, I believe, a couple more. So check them out. I just can't really talk enough about Sincere Engineer. I did put another band out there, TV Therapy.
TV Therapy.
Okay.
TV Therapy, about 29. No, I'm sorry. Not 29, 2.9.
Oh.
So 2,900 listeners.
Okay.
It's an Australian kind of like shoegazy band.
Okay.
Punkish, a little hard. But I don't know, this song hit me in the feels. To me, for me.
Okay.
So I implore you guys, listen to them. Really good. All right.
All right.
Chaotic?
My Taking Back Tuesday, I added two songs from 2 different bands. The first is a band called Husk. They're pretty good. Both of them kind of sound a little similar, like emo / screamo. Really good stuff. The other band is called Weather Vane. I think they have 76 followers, like 76. I was the 76th follower, so please check them out. It reminds me of like almost like 21 Pilots, but like more screamo. It's really good. Another song like I just wait, what? I had to replay it a few times. It was really good. So yeah, that was my Taking Back Tuesday.
All right. Thank you very much. So for Wednesdays, we have what we call Riot Girl Wednesday. It's very clear. None of us are female. And we really would love like a nice female presence here to tell us what some of these songs mean, because we are absolutely not qualified to talk about these, but these bands just are awesome. Just the energy that they bring. Yeah. Awesome. So I got into a little classic mess around this week. A little bit of hijinks.
Shenanigans.
Researching The Pill.
Oh, okay.
There's another band called The Pill.
Really?
Another really, really great kind of punkish band out of the UK.
Okay.
22,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. They're really great. I honestly had a really hard time picking which pill I was going to take. They're working on that all week. Anyways, they're described as a kick in the teeth, but in a good way.
Okay.
And I think that is just a perfect way to describe them. They're really incredible. less heavy, I guess, in the topics as far as you know, lyrics go with the other pill, but
Yep.
a lot of really good feminism, really great imagery, just talking about how much it sucks to be a woman sometimes and how much guys suck sometimes. And
Guys can suck sometimes, yeah.
guys do suck sometimes. Anyways, really great band. I might actually need to feature them. Let's see how this week goes.
Let's see.
We'll see. But Groompy, what you got?
Oh, so similar. You know, there was a band I really liked, and I thought I'd drop on Wednesday. So, Vial, Vial, Vial.
Okay, Bio. Yeah.
Vial, 154. So a little bit more popular band, but dear God, they rock. All female band. I featured 2 songs, Just Fine and Mr. Fuck You.
Oh,
okay.
Yes, yeah.
That's the name of the song?
That's the name of the song.
Oh, okay. What'd you call me?
Okay.
You know, think it's punk, but it's a little bit pop punk. I want to say almost early Green Day, Dookie Green Day.
Oh,
yes.
That's a good. Okay.
Before the eyeliner.
Yes, or the guy liner.
Okay.
You know, I really enjoyed them, and it might be a feature soon. I picked out 2 songs, but God, they're a very good band.
Okay.
The other one I had a Winona Fighter.
Winona
Fighter. 121,000 listeners, and again, a little bit more popular, but another good. This one's female led, so lead singer.
Okay.
Female led. I put in there 2 songs, Attention and Hams in a Glass.
Hams in a Glass.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
it has that punkish feel, kind of fast, but it just has that deep rock, that kind of like a Flyleaf, kind of like
Oh, okay. I remember
Okay.
Flyleaf.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
kind of
remember
what's that blonde girl too, the one that used to be like in Gossip Girl.
Oh, you're killing me.
Yeah. but you know, that kind of harder rock band. Yeah.
Okay.
It has that feel to it, but at the same time,
not quite metal, but
Not quite metal.
not metal.
yes.
Yeah, okay, I
yes.
got you.
And it was really good. Winona Fighter, guys.
Okay.
Winona
Got
Fighter.
it.
Awesome.
Check him out.
Okay,
Right.
so my Riger Wednesday band is a band that actually we saw come into town and was touring with Soul Asylum. So they're a trio called the Juliana Hatfield 3. They're pretty good. The songs that they were playing are really reminiscent of some of the early 90s. They actually released an album in 1993
Okay.
and then did some touring, whatever, took a hiatus for a while and came back in 2020. They released a new album and that's some really good songs. There's a song called My Sister, and you can really hear her pain. Like, I think there's some things going on, or she hasn't seen her sister in a long time, and so you can really hear that. They're a really good band live. It was actually interesting. Figured and I went to go see this show, and figured you can chime in here, but they had like an equipment kerfluffle, if you will, with the bassist, and so like, it's already a stressful time. You're in the show, right? And you're like the roadies are up there trying to fix the bass and everything like that. And what Juliana Hatfield was doing was she was just riffing. She was just playing some chords and like singing some like random lyrics for like a solid like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And it was amazing. It was awesome. Like, it was like
shredding.
she was just like just doing like crazy. Like, you can tell she was just improvising both on guitar and with lyrics. And for like a solid like 3-4 minutes until they got the bassist set up.
A musician.
A musician.
Whole song on the spot, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much on the
That's
song.
incredible.
And we'll probably never play ever again. But it was really good. They're really like live. They're really powerful. I think we felt we felt the bass and the drums in our chest.
Okay.
Right. They had some really
I love
killer
that.
songs,
Yep.
and her voice is just amazing. Really good. Julie Hanfeld 3.
Awesome. All right. So next playlist is our Taking Out the Thrash Thursday. This is for our metalheads.
Bam.
Anything above 120 beats per minute, maybe 100 beats per minute, depending on what time you start the playlist or whatever.
Okay.
But really anything that just rages and rocks and gets you on your feet and in that pit.
Yep.
For me this week, I'm going to try and not mess this up too bad. I believe it's Siphon, Sifyn.
Oh, I could see that.
Yep.
I was gonna say Siphon.
Siphon. Only
Sniffing.
only 600 listeners per month.
That's it
Ooh.
On Spotify.
Dang.
They're from Minneapolis. Great emo. A lot like Pierce the Veil, but
Okay.
a lot different. I really like it because there's a lot of dynamic components to it, like the guy's voice, screamy, and some really not screamy.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy. Looking forward to listening to some more. But really great band. I really enjoyed them.
Cool. Groompy.
All right. So I did a lot of research for thrash. Take out the thrash Thursday, and I don't know. Whatever I found, I didn't like it enough. And Groompy out in the middle of his dwarven run. I'm thinking a lot. I'm like, I have this sound perfectly in my head that I should. There's this band that I remember that was really good, and I couldn't remember, and it's from my Warped Tour days.
Ooh, okay.
And it was a small band. They must have had maybe 100 people surrounding them on stage, but dear God, did they rock. And I found them.
Oh, okay.
I found them 10 or 15 years later. They are still playing.
Wow.
Still a small band. The Heroin.
The Heroin.
The Heroin.
Okay.
From the San Antonio area.
There you go.
I remember them. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was their 33rd listener this month.
There you go. All right.
33rd listener this month on Spotify. But my deep dive on YouTube, they're still playing. They're still playing live shows.
That's good.
And they still rock. Oh my God, they still kill the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, think Southern rock, but fast,
Oh, okay.
powerful, kind of Motorhead style.
Yeah. I like Motorhead. Motorhead's
It's
right
just,
there.
it is. Oh my God,
your
it is
face.
just powerful on it in your face.
There you go.
And I just had to give them a shout out. The Heroin,
There you
San
go.
Antonio, Texas. 15 years later, you guys still had an impact on me,
There you go.
and I had to deep Google search you guys and still find you and find out you guys are still playing.
He scoured the dark
That's
web.
awesome.
Yes. So check them out. They're on I put 2 songs out there. Make Your Move and Let's Burn It Down.
There you
Okay.
go.
So go ahead and check them out. It's on Thrash Thursdays.
Cool.
All right.
All right, so my Thrash Thursday, again, I cheated. I disclosed this. I have Cerebellion on my Thrash Thursday. They have another single out called The Fight. It's actually a really good song. Kind of like why are we even fighting about this? Like, is it even worth it? Type of deal. So it's a really good song. I added there. I actually previously added another band I failed to disclose in episodes past. They're a band out of Germany called The Accused, or just Accused, but with a V instead of a U, all caps. They're actually really good, and they have a really good message in their music. One's called The Avoider. It's really good song, really good music. So check it out. Accused. There's my Thrash Thursday.
All right.
All right. Thank you. And our last playlist for the week. For some reason, the hardest one for us to find
Very
songs
hard.
for Feel Good Friday. This is getting us ready for the weekend, either just really upbeat, getting us ready for that party, or getting us ready for that concert or show.
Yep.
Just really starting the weekend off right.
It's easier to be emo.
It is easier to be in our feels. But sometimes you just gotta pack those feels away
Yeah.
Yes.
and enjoy the weekend. So sticking with the whole body part theme, my first band, Femur,
Beamer. Okay.
310 monthly listeners, which is a crime. These guys are really, really fucking fun, guys.
Yeah.
Really good. They're from Sheffield, UK.
Okay.
Imagine the Cramps, New York Dolls,
okay.
Billy Idol,
Oh,
but through like a Pink Floyd type of
Psychedelic.
weird thing.
so on heavy drugs.
No, not heavy
kidding.
drugs. Well,
Don't do drugs, people.
I don't know, drugs are bad. Anyways, just really great. They just had this really cool sound. Classic in a way, like classic rock, classic punk kind of in a
Okay.
way, like New York Dolls, the Cramps. but then just some really cool, I don't even like Pink Floyd type experimentation going on.
I like
really
it.
great.
I like it.
Only 300 monthly listeners, which is a crime.
Cool.
My next one is Yobs, YOBS.
Yobs.
Only about 900
Got
monthly
Yobs.
listeners from Liverpool. You just,
Ooh, I
I
like
can't
them now.
describe them. You have to listen to them. They're really great.
Okay.
Really
All right.
great. I actually ordered the vinyl.
Ooh.
Looking really forward to that.
Note to
You
self.
just gotta wait for it to fly over the pond and into the desert, but really great. I was really impressed by them.
Cool. Note to self.
All right.
Search Yobs.
Yes.
So for my Feel Good Friday,
Mhm.
I cheated just a little bit as well. There is a band that I already featured before. Came out with a brand new single this week.
Okay.
Matstagram.
That's right.
The
Mhm.
I'm trying to blank on the songs.
Oh yeah.
This was 2 episodes ago, I believe.
Yeah, 2 episodes ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Tell My Boss.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah.
Gotta be productive.
That's
There we
right.
go.
You know,
That's
they're
right.
fast-paced, kind of fun songs. They have a message to deliver.
Yeah.
So he put out a new single called Caffeine.
Okay.
I already like it.
Yes, it is very good, very upbeat, very. You'll just like the beat. You'll like the rhythm.
Yeah.
I had it on repeat. So another shout out from Instagram.
There you go.
Caffeine.
I
Put
need
you in our playlist.
I need caffeine right now.
Yes,
We do.
all need caffeine. But in order not just to cheat, I did add another band.
Okay.
Elevator Fight Club.
Ooh,
Elevator Fight Club.
Elevator Fight
I
Club.
already like it.
About 32,000 monthly listeners.
Okay.
Okay.
Added 2 songs, Cantaloupe and Call Me. And, you know, it's very smooth, happy guitars, just happy
Yeah.
chords. And, you know, it was just in some of the songs that appeared in my playlist while I was out,
Mhm.
That's cool.
and my Dwarven ones again. But you know, just feel good music.
There you go.
Awesome. And you?
I will concede on Friday.
Ooh.
I didn't find any songs that didn't say like fuck you or this fucking song.
Oh, yeah.
No,
It's easier to be emo.
it is. It is.
It
It is.
is.
So I gotta do my homework. I gotta find whatever website that Groompy found
Mhm.
his band from 15 years ago. So so you all go on.
Yep.
Tell us in the comments which bands you like. Help me out if there's a song you want me to listen to.
Absolutely.
Give us a shout out. Tell us in the comments either on YouTube or on Twitch or later on when we publish on Spotify.
Yeah.
Let us know.
You can find them on our webpage as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just look for Glenn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on our webpage, on our each episode page, we have links to their band web pages. So go on, follow them, subscribe to their mailing list, go buy their merch, go show them some
Absolutely.
love.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best ways that you guys can help these up and coming bands, just listen to them on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yes.
And buy their merch. We have a segment that we would normally have right now called Money Mouth, but merch is on the way. So
From
hopefully-
Australia.
from Poland. So we gotta wait for that stuff to come.
Yeah.
But you know, we really want to make a commitment here. Part of our marsh pit mentality is just helping these bands get up off the ground. There's
Yep.
just some really great bands out there that could really use our support. Just get on their pages, get some merch. We're gonna try to do our part. We want
Yep.
everybody to do their part as well. So
That's right.
let's see.
So speaking of merch,
Yep.
I want to talk about some merch. Okay. You've been seeing us wearing our stuff, right? You see these neat little tumblers we got. We have our hats, we got our things. So we got some merch. And if you all want to sport your RockMental stuff, Glenn, our friendly demon, we have we have multiple ways to do that. First place you can do that is rockmental.com. You'll find our official store there. If you scroll towards the bottom, or if you go to rockmental.com/shop, that's probably the best way to go. We tried to change the webpage, it didn't work.
/ merch.
I tried merch and it didn't work.
Oh,
So
I thought it was
we-
still merch.
yeah, no, we had to switch it back. Our webpage was being very webpagey and not working
okay.
with us
That makes
as
sense.
usual. Not only are we not mental health professionals, we're not web developers either.
Yeah.
So
we're barely podcasters.
yeah, exactly. So go on and you can find some patches, some cool shirts, some hoodies. and you can show it work that way.
Yep.
We also, for those of you who have Amazon, we have an Amazon store,
Just a little more budget friendly.
more budget friendly with some basic hoodies and tees and some tanks and some
Hats as well.
Beanie? some
Tumblers.
some tumblers. Go on there, a little budget friendly, get it faster if you have Prime. Just search RockMental on your Amazon account and you can hook up there. The third one we alluded to last week, and something that we've been really stoked about. We are proud to announce a new collab with an awesome apparel brand. I don't know if you all seen, especially you in the metal rock community, have seen ads for Sonder Mountain on Instagram. I know I did. Went on their website. They have such amazing stuff. They use tattoo inspired designs to create merch. They have hats, shirts, hoodies, t-shirts. They have shoes. Like, they have all sorts of stuff. And all of it is really has great messaging on mental health. The founder, Kip Grange, he is very open in telling his story in recovery from addiction. And so what he wants to do is use his brand and use Sonder Mountain as an avenue to break down those barriers and help people who have also been afflicted by addiction, by depression, by mental health issues. And so the merch kicks ass. I mean, these designs are amazing. And he actually puts on his Instagram page of some people who actually get actual tattoos of the designs from the shirt. So it's really cool.
It's really cool.
We love the mission. And so we actually met with Kip and got into some talking about how RockMental and Sonder Mountain have aligned mission of helping, break down the stigma, break down the barriers, and being more open and getting more people treatment and getting them the help they need. And so Sonder Mountain has agreed, breaking news, to partner with RockMental. And so they've put together a new RockMental Mosh Pit Mentality line. So if you go on to SonderMountainApparelCompany.com/RockMental, you'll see their stuff. We're proud to be a partner in recovery, as we're listed on there. They're just awesome designs, especially made for RockMental and our fans. Go on there, buy some stuff. They're really awesome. We right in front, it says "fuck the stigma." That's exactly what we're about.
Absolutely. And even if you're not going to buy anything, just go on, check it out. Kip's story is awesome. I can relate to him so well. It's just an awesome story. I really appreciate him and everything that he's done for us.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks to him and his team for those designs and for working with us. And hopefully we'll keep working on, getting people the help they need and continuing this message of unity and love for those going through the real shit. And my stuff's on the way here. I ordered the hoodie and some hats. Yeah. So next week we'll be showing them off, right? Yes. We'll show you, and we'll see if we can show that. So you can find all three of these stores on our website, rockmental.com. Check it out, buy some merch, show them some love. And more importantly, when you get your stuff, take photos, send it to us. We'll feature you on our Instagram pages and whatnot. We wanna feature y'all.
There might be some new merch coming like tomorrow.
Oh, check it out. Make sure you know
possibly new band merch as well.
Ooh, let's do this.
Hey, I have a request.
What's that?
Can we get nail polish?
Okay.
RockMental nail polish?
Why not?
Okay.
We'll check it out.
We have a very specific color of green that we need to find.
I can rock it.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's do it.
For our emo friends out there.
Can we get a guy liner?
All right.
All right. Cool. So, yep. Check out. Get some merch.
All right. Sounds good. So, this week we got into a little bit of an argument, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Off camera.
It got pretty heated.
We pissed each other off. It's interesting. It's all about music.
It's also all very petty, but
yeah, I was gonna say, wait, don't we?
Yeah.
Get over music and pettiness.
So as you can imagine, me, Chaotic, as a metalhead, has certain viewpoints about perhaps the emo or the punk community, and likewise.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Mayhem also has some interesting opinions, and Groompy does too. Doesn't mean that we're wrong, but I mean, we think it's a great avenue for us to share with you all.
All right.
Who wants to start? We're going to call this segment Hot Takes.
Should I read the rules?
Let's do it. Read the rules.
All right. So, hot takes. we're playing sort of like a game. When someone gives a hot take, a person who feels very strongly against the hot take will try to refute them, and we'll have a battle, I guess. And the person who's sitting there listening can judge who won. And if you're listening online right now too, they can you can decide who won in the comments as well.
So if someone says a hot take, one person who has very strong feelings against will raise their hand.
How about we just start with the band or the topic, and then we have somebody take.
Oh, okay.
Take
kind of like Jeopardy.
Kind of like Jeopardy.
I'll take that challenge.
I'll take that.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
Who wants to go first?
Should we start with Mayhem?
Start with Mayhem.
All right.
Let's do it. Uh-oh.
Do you guys want to do Weezer or Nirvana?
Ooh.
I know how Groompy you feel about Weezer.
Oh, I love my Weezer.
Oh, let's do
go
Weezer
Weezer.
then.
Let's do Weezer.
Ooh, okay. I'll
take that battle.
Yeah, I will be judge.
My hot take is Weezer's not very good.
Oh.
And they've been riding the success of the Blue album this entire time. And without the Blue album, would have never made any mainstream success.
Oh, dang.
As my evidence, I enter into the courts. The Blue album sold 3.5 million copies. I actually have one in my room right now.
He's got receipts.
Pinkerton, 1.1 million. The Green Album, 1.2 million. Maladroit or whatever, 621,000. And Make Believe, 1.3 million. Those are the ones I actually counted. Combined, just above the Blue album.
Okay.
Which one came first?
The Blue album.
Blue's their debut album.
Blue album. Second is Pinkerton.
Green
I
is third.
I feel the steam coming from Groompy right now.
If you think about it, none of that, like he said, none of that would have happened if the Blue album wasn't so good.
Okay. Well, how many bands would have never been here if their debut album was not good?
Ooh, okay.
But if you think about most bands' debut what's the name of Nirvana's debut album? What's the name of Smashing Pumpkins' debut album?
I'm not that big fan of Smashing Pumpkins.
Bleach and Gish.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, like, even Metallica, Kill 'Em All was not a resounding success until Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets came about. So I will give you that.
Look at Green Day. Kerplunk was their first record, right? Well, they had a record behind that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their sample or whatever. But
Yes,
then
that was
Kerplunk,
AP.
but then Dookie is really when they broke out.
Dookie's their first full length. They had Kerplunk was an EP.
Was it though?
Yeah.
Was it though?
Okay, name me a song from there.
We're getting into semantics here.
His whole
Welcome
point.
to Paradise. Welcome to Paradise.
No, that was Dookie.
That was Dookie, wasn't it? Oh, we need a fact check. Mr. Producer.
She, 2,000 Light Years Away.
Ooh, we're getting.
If you're, well, but that's besides the point.
That's besides the point.
Let's go back to Weezer.
Okay,
All right, bring it back.
let's do this. Okay,
How did this become a Green Day?
I need to flip my cap for this one. Okay,
All right.
okay, flip caps for this one.
All right. I mean, there's no denying it. The Blue album is one. I mean, I know for myself, it is one of the biggest albums in my life, but it is a cornerstone album in the rock industry.
It is.
There's no denying that.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Oh no, I admit
It
that.
just happens to be their debut album.
My Name is Jonas till Only in Dreams is just a perfect album.
In the Garage is
Mm-hmm.
my favorite song.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite Weezer song.
Without any of those songs, even the mainstream hits, Say It Ain't So,
Buddy Holly.
Buddy
Buddy
Holly, where would they be without those songs right now?
Hash Pipe.
But Hashpipe isn't really that
Does-
good.
It was
still a hit.
decent. It was
Okay, you're
decent.
telling me Hashpipe, Pork and Beans, and Beverly Hills are on the same level.
Island in the Sun.
Island in the Sun.
I think I would listen to Island in the Sun.
Island in the Sun is the only single that people could tolerate off of Pinkerton at first.
All right, I have a rebuttal.
Pinkerton is honestly an underrated album. I will give them that.
Yes.
I will give them that. But still, without the Blue Album, you wouldn't. Pork and Beans is terrible. You have to admit,
there is one thing though. Island in the Sun.
Beverly Hills
Is actually from the Green Album, isn't it?
Yeah, Island
Yes.
in the Sun is their #1 song. Double Buddy Holly and almost double Sadie.
And it's
I'm
from
not
the
saying
Green
fact
Album.
check. Fact
I'm not saying it's a bad song, but what I'm saying is, without the Blue Album, Weezer would never have the same commercial success that they've had today.
All right, let's answer this question. Does any Weezer album sell over 1 million without the Blue Album?
I don't think so.
Does
I
the
mean-
Green Album sell 1.1 million if the Blue Album never came out?
Nobody would know who
Island in
Weezer
the
is.
Sun. Island in the
You
Sun
think-
is such a great hit.
It is a great song. Don't get me wrong, but does it stand out from the songs that came out around the same time?
Oh no, I was a kid.
You just called us old.
I was a kid. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I will. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I get your point. I can't deny it. The Blue Album is just the way to describe it. You know, it's just the tip of the tip. It is their greatest. It's the great.
quintessential.
Yeah.
It's quintessential. It's their greatest album. It's Weezer's greatest album. It just happens to be their debut album. But you cannot write 30 years of success off of one album.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I could see it if they're playing small shows where nostalgia, where over here Dee Snider or Twisted Sister playing, or the Scorpions playing, not selling. This is a band to this day that it sells out,
They do.
that fills stadiums.
Okay, but do those people go to those shows to hear Africa or
I actually have
Pork
to like
and
that song.
Beans, or I can't really name any other songs.
Like, they're
Hash
there to
There's-
hear Buddy Holly and Say It Ain't So.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, there was that one song. You know, I think I remember the music video more than the song. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway, so I think
okay,
Judge,
okay.
let's hear your
I will
thoughts.
say, I like Weezer. I like a Weezer. Say It Ain't So is one of my top 5 all-time songs.
Mhm.
It got me.
Yes.
You know, it's just right there. It's
Mhm.
that song wherever it comes on the radio randomly, like you turn it up
Yes.
Yeah.
and you tell your kids, "Shut up. This is important.
Yeah, Daddy's having a moment.
I need this."
I share this with you.
Yes. But I get it. It's because if Weezer did not have the Blue Album, Island in the Sun would be a hit. But that might have been the only hit. I understand. Again, I love Weezer. Weezer, I love you. I love you. Awesome band. You guys are amazing. But I can understand having such early success is hard to really try to get back. Replicate.
Yeah.
That's why you have so many one-hit wonders, not just in rock, but in pop in general.
Yep.
You have so many one-hit wonders that had 1 or 2 maybe good hits, and it's hard to replicate that success early on.
Yep.
It's just hard in general. So I understand. As much as I hate to say it, I think Mayhem's got a point.
Hey,
I have
I
to
do have a
agree.
point.
Fuck you guys.
Again, we're not saying that
No, no,
it's a bad band.
I do get it.
They're
And
a
like,
great band.
and like I said, the Blue Album, it is a quintessential album.
no.
It is just,
If
you're right, it would be very, very hard to replicate
I-
the success of that album.
I will do a sub hot take. Only in Dreams is the best song on that album.
Oh.
that is
I mean, I
their
love this
best
song.
song, in my opinion.
I just have a,
7 minutes of awesomeness.
yes, I just have a really, really soft spot in my heart for In the Garage. So.
Yeah.
That's
In the
good one.
Garage is a
It's
great,
good one.
Yeah.
great song.
Sweater Song's also good.
Sweater Song's
Sweater
pretty
Song
good.
is
Song.
amazing.
I remember as a kid, or when I was younger, the ending, the outro with the weird piano used to
Oh, yeah.
scare the
Yeah.
shit out of me.
Yeah.
I used to skip the next song.
We got a note from the admin over here saying Surfwax America is the best song.
Oh,
Surfwax America.
Surfwax America is a pretty
our madman's getting into
he is
getting into the fold.
Yeah, he
All right,
is.
okay.
30 years later, and we were talking about Weezer.
No,
We're talking about Weezer.
I will say this: the Blue album is one of the best albums, in my opinion, made ever in rock, and I'm in the best.
Thank you.
One of the best debut albums ever.
Well,
but they're just a victim of their own success, I think, and that's why I think they're so polarizing.
Well, we want to hear your comments.
Yes. Please tell us what you guys think.
What do you think? If we pissed you off, please let us know too.
Should we move on to Groompy?
Groompy's hot take.
Equally controversial hot take.
All right, let's see.
All right.
Right, what about
my hot take involves Paramore.
Ooh.
Oh.
Paramore. I don't know.
Paramore is close to Mayhem.
All right,
Mayhem.
I'll take it on. Let's do it.
I'll be judge again.
Okay.
All right.
I feel this is personal.
He was keeping this in the car. He pissed off Weezer. Now he's going after Paramore.
Which I may say, I love Paramore.
Okay.
It was a good band. It's still a good band that I grew up with. Epitome of my emo days, but Paramore just has not been good since their second album.
Their second album is Riot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I think we ran into a similar Blue album kind of situation.
Which I have Riot, and then All That Is Falling, I believe, is their debut album.
I think you're right.
But anything after, I mean.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to bring out
you need receipts here.
I need receipts here. Hold on a second.
Now, call me a. What did we say earlier? Call me a purist.
Purist. Okay, he's making his case, ladies and gentlemen.
Their self-titled album is really good though too.
That would be their fourth, right?
Yes.
There's only two good songs.
Yes.
Fifth.
There's only two good songs.
Was that Don't Cry to Your Mama?
No.
It's Ain't It Fun?
Ain't It Fun? And
Still Into You?
Still Into You. Those are the only two.
True.
I own that album too, as well.
Okay.
But there's only two good songs there.
Their interlude has 100 million streams as well.
Are you forgetting All I Wanted from Brand New Eyes? Good song. Dude.
And then they have Decode, the
Okay, so
from the movie, right?
What's the Shiny Vampire?
the
Twilight
series,
the Twilight song.
Twilight
it's
Saga,
just
the shiny vampires coming this summer.
I mean,
you're saying nothing after Riot has been good.
But
I'm not saying it hasn't been good. I'm just kind of like to your point with Weezer. They're just
a victim of their own success.
A victim of their own success. It just has not. They peaked at Riot.
I think. Okay.
Groupie, somebody said you got to go straight to jail for that take.
Wait, what?
Somebody said you've got to go straight to jail for that take.
Oh, I mean, I'll stand by my take. Okay. Again, I love Paramore. First time I saw Paramore, 2007, was a stage at Warped Tour. They had 50 people in the crowd. 50.
Wow.
This is when their first album was coming out.
Okay.
I fell in love with them instantly. I stood long line, like 5 minutes in their booth to get pictures with them and their signatures. Hayley Williams, I still have that picture somewhere in MySpace.
There you go. Does MySpace still exist?
No, I don't know.
Who knows?
But and I get it though.
Who's going to do that?
1 year later, 2008, I come back to Warped Tour. They are headlining.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are the band to go see. Just from 1 year to the next, to go from literally 50 people in front of this tiny stage, we're like, oh yeah, to God, crowds, people pushing each other just to go. That's how important. That's what Riot did. That's almost overnight stardom.
All right, I have another rebuttal. So, if we want to compare this to Weezer, right? Weezer, outside of their Blue album, has only one song that has hit over 100 million streams on Spotify, and that was Beverly Hills. But Paramore has at least 10 songs that have hit at least 200 million streams
outside of Riot.
Outside of Riot.
This is what I'm trying to say though. Like,
But are they good?
okay, so first off, Hayley Williams is incredible. Two,
She's
One of the best
general
of our
frontmen.
Yeah,
I'm
of our
not gonna say
generation.
female, just frontmen of our
Of all
generation.
generations.
Yes,
Look at
I get it.
who she's performed with: Chino Moreno.
Yes.
Maynard from.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
That was a great collab.
incredible.
That was a great collab.
Yeah, she is incredible, and I think she herself is just far more talented than Weezer as a band is.
Yeah.
Okay, name her solo albums.
Ooh.
That's okay. Now that's fine. But to answer to your, I think you're right in that they're a victim of their own success. But I think this happens with bands a lot. You get used to a sound, and this happened with Weezer too with the Blue album. The Blue album's like nerd rock or
Nerd garage
rock,
Yeah.
right? What was Paramore when they came out? It was like
Epitome of emo.
female Lincoln or female Limp Bizkit kind of thing. Like they fit kind of like a
Female Limp Bizkit.
no, like they're trying to form like a female new metal-y kind of thing, which they never were. And I think, people are trying to listen to that Paramore or that Weezer, but when bands eventually grow and evolve, they're going to sound different, which they do. The last album, I guess single that they had a couple of years ago, it's very good. It's just not the same Paramore.
It was last
Riot.
year. Their latest album. It was last year.
Yeah, that's what you get, right?
No.
Here, I got it right here. It's This Is Why.
This is why.
That's what I was trying to.
This is why.
And then the one before that, that pink one.
After Laughter.
Yeah. It sounded very 80s like music. Again, I've listened to it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's just
they haven't been the same.
They peaked since Riot. And I mean, again, call me a purist. That for me, that was peak. I was 18, 19, 20 during that time. And it was one of the albums one of the first albums I bought, to be honest. It hasn't been the same. And then they had a lot of turmoil since then too, with people leaving, coming, calling each other nasty names.
Will they, won't they?
Like people leaving the band, calling each other nasty names, and people coming back to the band. But
did that affect the music though?
All right.
I think they might be a victim of that as well.
That's true.
I mean, interpersonal issues happen in bands. I mean, with Deftones, there was Saturday Night Wrist.
Yeah.
They're arguably one of their better albums, but a lot of turmoil. I think that might have been part of it. Like, I get what you're saying. I just disagree. I disagree.
After the Weezer argument, I understand you. I understand you.
Both of you guys had the same argument for both bands.
Yes, you did.
I think we do have the same argument for both bands. I'm gonna have to go check my my fanboy.
Okay. Okay, I will make a ruling. I side with Mayhem on this.
Oh,
just the numbers that Figured pulled up. Just the numbers that Figured pulled up about how many listens, and like I think when you pick up, we can talk about album success, but we're talking about like commercial, taking each song at a time. They've had hits after Riot.
yes, they have, but for like 2 more albums, 3 more albums.
Their top 10 only has 3 songs from Riot.
Ooh.
It has 3 songs from
It's gonna
Brand
be the
New
Paramore?
Eyes, 2 songs
Brand New
from their
Eyes,
self-titled, and then
then
Hard
the
Times
Deco.
from their new one.
All right.
Anything past anything past probably like 2014
So who has?
is not there.
So who
No,
has
their
the
Hard
more?
Times from 2017 had 483 million streams.
So who has the more dedicated fan base though? Because I think that's.
Okay.
I think that's kind of where.
I mean,
That's a different hot take.
I think that's. I think we're getting. I think that's what we're getting into is the fandom.
Yeah.
Because the fandom can either make you or break you. If
True.
they want the Blue album, they're only going to buy the Blue album. If they want Riot, they're only going to buy Riot. Right?
and I'll be I mean, I've had this hot take with friends that grew up in my generation. You know, right when emo was coming up. I'm always wrong in everyone's eyes because, you know, Hayley Williams, especially like Paramore, Hayley Williams is just like it's a figure. It's untouchable.
Yeah.
Like don't you mess with Hayley
You
Williams.
cannot talk bad about Hayley.
She's kind of an enigma for the era that she was in, though. You have to kind of admit she stands out as an artist.
Yeah, well, just like Weezer, Paramore, there was nobody like Paramore at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was nobody like them, and so they
Shout out to Hey Monday.
There hasn't been in since.
and it hasn't been it since. I mean, yeah, when you think about it.
All right, I have another question that
Okay.
could also help the judge in deciding. I made another question is like, is Weezer better than Paramore all time? Would the judge buy more Weezer albums or more Paramore albums?
It depends who the judge is.
It's him.
Based
The
on
judge?
yeah, you the judge. On the arguments that they gave just now.
I don't like myself for saying this, but probably Paramore. Because
You know, I brought up the argument, but you want something?
yeah, I know. Okay,
I only have the blue and green album, and I think I have. You know, I have Brand New Eyes, I have Ride, and I have the
So-
self-titled Paramore.
yeah.
So
Okay, so I think you just rebutted your own argument there.
Everybody blew up his own
Don't stand by
argument.
my argument.
I think we have the same argument, just
Different
bands.
bands.
different bands at
Different
a different
bands.
scale. So
Yes.
I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna have to go listen to all these.
I know, now we're going to have to go
Okay.
listen. Which, by the way, here at RockMental, we love both Weezer and Paramore.
Yes.
So, don't get me wrong. It's a
Oh,
hot
no.
take. It's a hot take, but I
Uh,
have 3 albums. I love Paramore.
I love Paramore. The Casa Mayhem has all of the records. I only own the blue album though for Weezer.
for Weezer.
Maybe it's a matter of taste. I don't know.
My
Maybe.
mini Groompy, my daughter, belts like 90% of Paramore songs that she can hear because
Yeah.
it's played that often in my
Yeah,
household as well.
Mini Groompy and Mini Mayhem are jamming Paramore.
Paramore right now.
When I walked in, they were actually had the Riot album. on.
Oh,
So
there you go.
at least they had the good one.
There we go. Okay.
That's the only one I let them play with.
Okay.
all right. You want to move on to chaotic?
Okay.
Your
I
hot
think
take?
Okay. Here we
I'm not going to give an option. I'm just going to throw it out there because I think this is definitely the elephant in the room in the rock community that has happened in the past year. Controversial. Everyone's got an opinion, and I think we would be remiss as rock fans to not talk about it. Linkin Park. We gotta talk about it, guys. We gotta talk about it. I tell you why. Actually, before coming here, I went to our favorite falafel place. Great falafels, by the way. And there was a young lady who had a Metallica shirt on, and I said, "Hey, I got my Metallica shirt on also." It was under this thing, and we started talking about it. She's like, "What do you think about Linkin Park?" You know, and the new singer Emily Armstrong. And we went into it for a little bit, and it got me thinking. We haven't talked about Linkin Park.
That's true. That's very true.
I think we need to address the elephant in the room. That is Linkin Park and Emily Armstrong.
All right. So I'm going to hold you to a stance on this. Do you think Emily Armstrong fits Linkin Park better than Chester Bennington?
Okay.
As your hot take, you
I
have
haven't
to
do my own hot take.
You have to take a stance.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
we can discuss Linkin Park all day.
I mean,
but for you to
this can be. I don't know if this. Can just be an open discussion. Honestly,
I think
on
we
this
could
hot
discuss.
take.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a big topic because
it is.
we have let's just address it. Chester Bennington is and will always be probably one of the most influential and quintessential voices in rock,
Mhm.
in music
Absolutely.
in general.
Absolutely.
You cannot replace a Chester Bennington, and particularly is the influence Linkin Park had on, like, you know, people try to peg them as new metal. They weren't. Really, they
Nah.
they did what I think Limp Bizkit tried to do,
Yeah.
and was actually good at it. But what they did for that rock, especially in that, you have to understand the early 2000s was a hard time in rock.
Yeah.
Metallica was on hiatus for about 3 years. There was a lot of talk about whether or not they were going to stay together. Korn and Limp Bizkit was basically trying to
Dominate
and keep it going, and then enter Linkin Park. And I remember hearing the first album, and it was just like, what the fuck is this? Who is this guy?
I think I remember we were, I forgot where, and it just came on. And we were like, what the hell is this? And it was like kind of like today's hardcore in its infancy, right? Just a lot of dynamic things going on. Just great. I mean, it was like almost like the first time hearing Eminem, like they just stood out so much from everything else. You're like, what is this?
And I admit, I wasn't taken by Linkin Park to begin with. Like at first, I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand Chester. I didn't understand what was going on, and I take that for granted. I'll own that. But over time, Chester just sealed himself into like rock history as such a important, not just his voice, but just important influence on rock and pop culture. Just the things that he talked about, the raw emotions, his suicidal thoughts, his commentary on addiction and not being able to get over it. I mean, Crawling to me is such a heartbreaking song, but it's such an accessible song for people who are going through the same thing, so just saying that, it is impossible to replace Chester Bennington.
It is.
And it is an impossible task for Mike and the guys in Linkin Park to even start.
Yeah.
Well, first, after that tragedy, and rest in peace, Chester, after that tragedy, having to come back together into a room and say, are we doing this, guys?
Exactly.
Are we even doing this?
And two, how?
Yeah.
And you have to give them credit because they didn't try to replace Chester.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bands would have tried.
Yeah.
And I mean, some bands thankfully didn't. Like, I bring up Alice in Chains a lot. They didn't try to replace Lane Staley, right? Because you can't.
You can't.
Nirvana,
same thing.
Dave Grohl had, like, obviously he had his success afterwards, but
there's no way you
he didn't try to replace Kurt Cobain.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't. There's just, I mean, it would be impossible to do that. So I think one, they realized that like, there's no way we're gonna be that band again.
Nope.
But at the same time, Mike Shiroda's like, but we could still be a band.
Exactly.
And appeal to an audience. And I think that's where Emily Armstrong came in.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't actually read that much about it. Maybe this is him saying, we're not that Linkin Park anymore.
Yeah.
Right. He made a statement by bringing her on by saying the Chester Bennington Linkin Park is
gone.
In our memory, is gone.
It's enshrined.
It's enshrined. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
When they get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's going to be because of Chester Bennington and what they did there.
Yeah.
Now they're building something else off of the same success, but it's different.
Yeah.
And it's very good. I'm a huge Emily Armstrong fan. I think she's incredible. And I think she's done an incredible job with this band.
Yeah.
But it's not the same band.
Yeah.
They have the same name. They have a similar sound, but it's not the same band. I don't think we can say that.
And in my discussion over there at our falafel place, of course, where people discuss rock.
Yes.
As one does at a falafel place.
Yes.
That was the point that this young lady was saying, is like, it's not the same. And I rebutted with, to your point, it's not going to be the same. And I think what Mike and the guys did was they acknowledged that, and they said, okay, A, we're deciding we're going to keep going. We decided we're going to stay Linkin Park and we're going to keep going. B, how do we make sure we can sustain it? From a band perspective, how do we make sure that Linkin Park is still Linkin Park 5 years from now, 10 years from now? The point I brought up was, okay, look at other bands that, kind of switch things around, like Audio Slave.
Yeah.
Right? So you had Tom Morello and Chris Cornell come in and make Audioslave, and they had some good hits.
Yeah, they had two great albums. Mhm.
But then after that, what happened? Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Look at Velvet Revolver, right?
Oh, yeah.
Scott Weiland and Slash come together, and again, they had one good album, and nothing after that.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know what Linkin Park was thinking, during this transition, but I think part of the decision to go with Emily Armstrong was number one, she's an amazing singer. She can kill any song.
Check out Dead Sarah. All of their music.
Oh yeah,
is
check out
really
Dead Sarah. Yeah, that there's no doubt she can sing a song. She is amazing. But I think the other part is with an Emily Armstrong, can they make new music? And the answer is a resounding yes.
Oh
good.
yeah.
The Emptiness Machine.
The new album is really good.
And I'm already going to say this. Their next album is going to be really good.
Well, what I'm hoping is that it's not going to be the same album, that we want to see some growth. And that's, I think this is kind of what I have an issue with the purists is like, we go back, Blue Album, right? Like, do you want your band to sound the same all the time? We were just talking about this. The Postage Malone. Do we want
Postage Malone?
Postage Malone?
do we want White Iverson for 15 years that he's been in this shit? He's doing country music right now, right?
Yeah.
Post Malone's one of my favorite artists. It's just even one of his newest albums, Feeling Whitney, just stripped down acoustic, him and his feels is to where he came from.
Yeah.
God, it's so beautiful.
Well, he's this fucked up kid from a broken family, broke into the industry, was accepted by the hip hop community, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then he cleaned himself up. He became a parent, right? I don't know if he's married or not. He has a family. Like we've seen him grow up. Still same tattoos and weird teeth and weird sense of humor.
He started a Raising Cane's franchise.
He did. And he's grown up.
But you've seen his music grow with him.
Exactly. And I think when you have purists that want that White Iverson and that's it.
In this case, Meteora.
Yeah, and I think that's where we start seeing some of the problems between the purists and people are happy to see bands grow. And the bands that do grow have to do it in a way that doesn't alienate the purists.
Exactly.
Yes.
But can also draw in. So like Deftones are a perfect example. There's kids, my mini Mayhem's age, that love the Deftones.
Yeah.
And they're not the same band as they were. No. Like, do we really need 20 years of White Ponies?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense to do that.
One of the best albums of all time.
Well, even between White Pony and Around the Fur was so different.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Their albums grew.
They grew. Like, to your point, I remember listening to that first album. I think I was like 11 or 12.
Thanks for that.
But no, it was mind blowing to, change like 6-7 years later. I was in high school about to graduate, and they had just come out with another album. What's the name of that song? I forgot, but it just, you had seen the growth, but I don't know, you see the growth, you see the progress, the change in their music.
Yeah.
But just to still feel raw, the feeling of like Chester's emotion,
his pain, man.
The message still delivered through.
Yeah.
And I think that's, talking about Purist and me and Paramore, I didn't feel it as much. It is a hot take. A lot of people don't agree with me. It's just, as the years wore on, as albums came out, I just didn't feel it as much.
Exactly. Well, and it's the difference between the singers too, because like when you hear Chester scream, "I put my trust in," that's one thing. It's just like, oh, and when you hear Emily singing it, it's something different.
Yeah. Well, we talk about covers all the time, right? Like,
yes,
if you're gonna cover a song, you better
cover it.
You better cover it well,
and
it can't be the same song.
No, you can't.
Either. It has to be their own, and the way Emily sings it is not like the way Chester sings it. I think she's bringing her own experience into that,
and not trying to replace it. And I think that's what a lot of people are are getting the bad rub on. Is
Yeah.
that, she's first off, the tragedy of Chester Bennington
Exactly.
is it. You can't. It's not like he got kicked out.
Yeah.
It's not like a Van Halen situation. This is
No.
not that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an impossible task for a band that just lost not just a bandmate but their friend, a brother.
Yeah.
It was an impossible task to begin with. And what I would say, and I guess my stance on this hot take is, I do believe that Linkin Park choosing Emily Armstrong as their new lead singer was the correct thing to do, not to appease us, the listeners or whatever, but for the overall sustainability of the band that's to come.
They wanted to let people know that Chester Bennington wasn't Linkin Park, and that Linkin Park is a band without Chester Bennington.
Yes.
Yes. And as sad as it is to say it, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
No.
It's not.
Dang, we got heavy,
Yep.
man.
And then, so what I will say is Mike Shirota and Emily Armstrong have demonstrated a lot of courage.
yeah,
Mike
Yeah.
Shirota had a decision to make. Him and the band were like, okay, are we going to continue?
Mm-hmm.
And if we do continue, we mess this up, we're going to alienate all the people that
Yeah.
have supported us this whole time.
yeah,
And I think they made a very calculated decision in picking Emily Armstrong. Now, Emily Armstrong is coming to this band already an iconic band,
yeah,
already going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, they're that good.
yeah.
And I'm going to replace their lead singer.
Mhm.
They're magnificent lead singer.
Yeah.
Not just the lead singer, but like an icon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Yes.
the
I'm
face
going to
of
come in
Linkin Park.
and replace this person.
Yeah.
How much courage does that take?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when you see them perform, you really don't miss anything. I'm not going to say she has the same presence as Chester
Yeah.
Bennington, because he was very intense
Very intense. Very
when he was
into it.
performing. She is not as intense, but she still
Well, in her own way.
She commands
Yeah,
the attention, but she's not like in your face screaming at you intense. Like
Yeah.
she has her own style. But it took a lot of courage to do that, because she knew that if she messed this up, that she could alienate Mike Shirota and the rest of the band's following.
yeah,
And I think it was a very calculated risk,
yeah.
but I think it's paid out perfectly. I think
Well, and,
overall it's a great.
The band won't have
Decision.
success.
yes,
You
they
know,
will.
they still have. It's very like a solid formula in a
Yeah.
solid bond.
Exactly.
They will have success. It's just like you said, it's just a very touchy subject.
Mhm.
It
It's a
is.
very love to a lot of loyal fans.
Yeah.
It's like children
I know.
Yeah.
going through a divorce, and he's like, "Here's your new stepmom," and they're
Kind
like,
of.
accept them. And for a lot of these people, they just love
Well,
Chester
yeah,
so much.
Exactly. Well, and for a lot of people, this is the first time they ever hear Emily Armstrong.
True.
That's one side of the coin,
True.
right? Kind of to your point, this is the first time they ever saw this person, so it's like,
That's true. That
It's-
is very true. If you're not familiar with her, and you're like, who?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of get it. So I can get why the purists or just very hardcore Linkin Park fans
Yeah.
are upset. I get it, but I don't think you can look at it as the same band like you said.
No,
Yeah.
it's a
isn't.
different band, and they need to be judged on a different scale.
Exactly.
There's no way that they're going to compete with
Yeah.
the Chester Bennington Linkin Park.
and I think, I mean, we've seen bands, I mean, for 40 years deal with death and grief and heartache, right?
Mhm.
Leonard Skinner and
Oh, yeah.
Pantera with Dimebag Darrell.
Well,
Mhm.
there's
Uh,
bands that hardly have any original members, like Black Flag.
Exactly.
Have hardly any original members left.
Exactly. And it's hard to keep going when you lose a bandmate and a friend and a brother and a sister, especially to addiction and
Yeah.
to depression and to suicide. That's hard in itself. And anyone who's gone through that can understand just how traumatic that is. So imagine that coupled with the pressure from your fans, from your record company, from we need to make money because we need to put food on the table, right?
Mhm.
It's an impossible situation
Oh, yeah.
to deal with. And I mean, kudos to them, because I mean, you look at other bands who have gone through similar tragedies, like Pantera.
Yeah.
I love Pantera. Pantera's one of my favorite bands, but they have not, ever since Dimebag Darrell died, they haven't gotten back to that same thing. And for a reason, Dimebag Darrell's is iconic. You can't replace Dimebag Darrell.
Oh no.
You know, we're talking about this, and I'm looking at Freddie Mercury.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Even Queen. Even
That's
Queen
true.
replaced Freddie Mercury. You know, I believe Adam Lambert.
Yeah, Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert, which they, you know, to their point, they've had success with him.
Oh yeah.
Is it the same Queen?
No, absolutely
It'll
not.
never
I
be
think-
the same Queen.
I think they scientifically proved that Freddie Mercury had the perfect voice, like the perfect singing voice. How are you going to replace that?
No,
You can't.
You can't.
not just
It's-
by voice, just
well by
persona. Just
by somebody like 20 years younger, and I mean it worked well.
it worked
Yeah.
well. They toured. They're still
toured.
successful.
They're still successful,
Hey,
but it's not the same band.
And guess what? They still sold albums.
True.
The same people who were naysayers and didn't like it, they still bought it. And guess what? Linkin Park, you're still gonna buy their albums. You're still gonna go to the concerts.
Yeah, they're still going to
True.
fill up stadiums.
They're still gonna fill up stadiums.
True.
And they should, because they deserve it. I mean, they're still a kick-ass band. They're still one of the most influential bands of our time. And you know, more credit to them. We'll still be listening. We'll still be watching, and hopefully, if they come to a venue near us, maybe we can.
Yes,
I think,
I'll be there.
I think so. Phoenix.
I'll be
Yeah.
there.
The new Linkin Park.
That's right.
I'm a huge fan of Emily Armstrong. I think she does a great job. I love the new album. I mean, that's.
Yep.
I can't say much more about that.
Alrighty. Is that the end of that topic?
I believe so.
believe so.
Alright. I have one more hot take. and this is
Oh,
my hot take. I said it to some of the people here.
this is gonna piss some people off.
Yes.
I haven't heard of this.
He hasn't heard this
All
one.
right.
So
Brace
buckle up.
yourself. Brace yourself.
My hot take is, as a vocalist exclusively, not a lyricist, I believe Serge Tankian from System of a Down is better than Chino Moreno from Deftones.
I'm kicking you out.
Baby.
The house.
You say the
As a
hottest
vocalist?
hot take.
As a vocalist exclusively, because say Serge can write a song, right? And he's also got his own music. What I'm saying is, as a vocalist for System of a Down and as a vocalist for Deftones, I believe Serge is better than Chino Moreno.
I'm gonna say is System of a Down needed another lead singer.
Oh, you're going the opposite way.
They needed two.
Dang.
So,
Okay. I'm gonna take emotion out of this.
all right.
I'm processing this right now.
I love both bands. I grew up with both
Don't get me
bands.
wrong. I love Deftones.
Toxicity and White Pony were two of the most influential albums growing up and becoming an adult. Both of them had such crazy raw emotions. I was in a crappy band in high school, and we covered both Deftones and System of a Down. This is rough.
Chop suey, change.
So I watched.
Okay. Okay, give us some examples, Fika.
I watched a few videos on like the vocalists, like people reacting to Serge and Chino Moreno. Don't get me wrong, Chino Moreno has an insane range, especially at his age now, still screaming. What's it? 7 words.
And his
That's
voice
insane.
hasn't
Yeah.
changed out like
No.
the guy
Deteriorated
from Avenged
at
Sevenfold. He
all.
sounds kind of rough.
Yeah.
But
Still great, but can tell is starting
Wait.
to get shut a little bit.
The
Are you
Axl Rose treatment.
But Serge, I think he's retired now. I haven't seen him at any shows.
Well,
Actually, no,
they're
they're on
coming.
tour.
Well, System and Deftones
Yeah.
are going to be headlining a show in Toronto.
Toronto, that's right.
Uh-oh.
So if you wanna live my hot take, go there.
or Serge and Gino, if you want us to, be there live and to ascertain this. I mean,
Exactly.
we would not mind.
But
Send some
Absolutely
tickets.
not.
as a vocalist, if you listen to the, I don't know, I guess techniques that Surge uses to emphasize his emotions versus Chino using his techniques to emphasize the emotion that he wants to. I believe Surge has a more technical and, I guess, like wider range of technical, like things that he uses to express his emotions in the different songs that he sings.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Okay, so like in Chop Suey, he's got the he's got the whispering, and then why don't think you trust, which is very lyrical, very, and
it's
then
very commanding. It's like very aerial.
Yeah.
But at the same token, Chino, like
They've
When
got
he said range,
they've
Chino-
got a bunch of range. Both of them have a bunch of range.
Yeah.
a bunch of range.
Okay, I'm putting these two at like the MJ and Michael Jordan tier. Like they're so far above everybody else. It's these two versus
Like LeBron and
anybody
MJ,
else.
you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is the kind of discussion I'm having where these two have such insane range that comparing them, personally, I put Surge above Chino Moreno in the range of technical things that he uses
So
to
would
express the emotions or things
So would
that he's trying to
Chester
get
be
across.
Kobe Bryant in this analogy?
I was gonna say Corey Taylor, Maynard from Tool.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome vocalist.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
So Chino Morena's often regarded as one of the best.
Yeah.
As is Surge. I get. But I'm trying to think of a song, a System of a Down song without the others. I forget his name, forgive me, but I'm trying to think of a song without
let me
him.
find it.
Oh, without the
Yeah.
well, like in Chop Suey, he was mainly harmonizing. It was mainly Surge.
But
Yeah, so
what's the song?
I consider him as like a backup vocalist because he's usually complimenting what Surge is
Yeah.
saying, and he's usually using only like one kind of voice, unless it's like a different song. But he's usually backing up Surge.
Yeah, he usually is. I would say, I think Toxicity is obviously probably the most successful album, but I would say in terms of musicality and like you said, his range as a vocalist, I think Mesmerize was probably a better example of that. I mean, Mesmerize, Hypnotize, I mean, those two songs right there just showed
BYOB, the switch ups,
yeah. BYOB was pretty
like
there
the
too,
range of BYOB was so like that's the song that kind of got me thinking would I prefer Surge or Chino as a vocalist,
and it's hard too because like
because
I'll end this right now.
What?
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury is the perfect voice.
I bet you if Freddie
nobody's
Mercury-
beating him.
I bet you if Freddie Mercury screamed, he'd probably scream better than Chino. And
I'm sure.
he would bring people back to life.
he probably would. Yeah.
We need to
No,
have
but-
an AI deep fake of these songs from by Freddie Mercury.
So the body of work, though. So Chino has kind of a larger,
Yeah.
Body.
Obviously,
Breadth of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
and so I'm trying to be.
Okay. Well, state your purposes, figure. Like state your case here.
No, you know what? Figure, honestly, if you want me to be honest, I was taken back by your hot take. But
Yeah.
the more I think about it, the
It's-
more I'm siding with you.
It's a head scratcher, isn't it?
Not even head scratcher. The more I'm actually starting to side with it. Deftones is, top 3
Yeah.
bands of mine.
Like,
So I'm
Deftones-
biased. I am very biased. But I'm not musically inclined. I do not know any music theory. I have friends that are orchestra teachers. I've studied music. Maybe we can bring them on one day and
Yeah.
have this argument. But just to me,
Yeah.
that presence and the System of a Down songs were almost opera-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think so. Surge has a very powerful voice, and when he
does.
sings, you feel it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Chino has more range though, because he can do stuff that I think Surge can't, as far as like the shoegazy kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
more mellow
So
stuff.
I think Surge is more like melodic, and then
Yeah.
he can start like growling
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
He can still scream and he can still, but in
So like I'm trying to go like
yeah.
point by point. Screaming,
Yeah.
I think they're about the
They're
same.
about the
Yeah.
same.
And I think the growling type of real still aggressive stuff, they're still about the same. but then I kind of have a trouble like at the, so like, I'm just sitting in my car and waiting for my doom.
Yeah.
And then, so like that's about as mellow as Serge gets, right?
Well,
like, he's got some other stuff. Like he's got some more opera type stuff, right? But with System of a Down, I don't know if I can think of a song that equates to like a sex tape or Cherry Waves or something like that, where it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because I see what you're saying. Because Chino has the softer side in like Teenager or Passenger, where it's not all hard all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So I have some words from Madman here. He'd like to say something.
Okay.
So what I will say is, I think that from System of a Down, I think he relies a lot more on his belting. So even like songs like Spiders, I guess it's more of it's like a slower song, but he gets into his belting no matter what in most of his songs.
That's true.
And I think like a lot of his vocalism like revolves around this, but I think Chino, he can go into multiple things. Like throughout all of Around the Fur, he got into his screamies type stuff. He got into some more like psychedelic stuff throughout Saturday Night Wrist and Diamond Eyes. And he got like, he was in that new metal type stuff throughout Adrenaline, right? So I think Chino Moreno covers a lot more ground.
But then there's a lot more work.
The body of work.
Of course, but what I'm saying is that like I think Chino doesn't rely on a certain mechanic. Like he gets into his falsetto a lot, where he's just really airy.
That's
and
true.
His voice, he can go really quiet. Like Teenager, he was in a lot of falsetto.
That's true.
And he wasn't as screamy and as demanding, but he can be his demanding, screaming, belting
like
voice
Hexagram.
is just as demanding as his. But I don't think he relies on that in his music. And I think maybe this is also the musicians that Deftones has that kind of lift him up in some of their music.
Yeah.
But I think that as far as just singing, I feel like Chino doesn't have one thing that he kind of relies on. But I always find that in System of a Down songs that he keeps going back to this belting that he has, no matter what song it is.
Yeah, it's because Serge doesn't have like an upper register. He doesn't have a falsetto. He doesn't have a note, so he relies on.
He's like the Canes of singers. Like he's got 5 good things, right?
But he does them very well.
No, he's incredible, and I'm having trouble because Deftones is my favorite band.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Thanks,
Figure. I'm having trouble.
I'm a little biased because personally I put System of a Down over Deftones, but that's only because I listened to System of a Down growing up. I didn't listen to Deftones as much growing up.
Okay.
Because I'll give you that figure. He's much younger than us, but I get because Adrenaline and White Pony came out when Mayhem and we were in high school, college. And then System got popular probably little after that, early 2000s.
Right around the time White Pony came out. I think it was
a little after that.
It came out.
Well, not Toxicity though. The one before that.
Mesmerized.
Hypnotized.
Or the one behind. Hypnotized. That's right.
That was middle school. That was middle school for you.
Was that with Sugar?
No,
I covered that song.
Was the early high school for me. White Pony was middle school for me.
Yeah, White Pony was high school for me.
So this is why I had to isolate as a vocalist, because Chino Moreno, they write songs around his range, right?
That's true, yeah.
So, and I'm not sure how much Chino writes. As a lyricist, if I understood how much he wrote, I'm pretty sure I would put him over Serge in like writing music based on the way he sounds.
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
For Serge, I also don't know what they write. But I believe with what he's given, he does more with the energy and emotion that he's trying to portray.
Yeah.
He does add a lot of intensity, and I just remembered the song Sugar, and he does have a lot of range in that as well.
Yeah.
His voice is a lot more weirder than Chino Moreno's. I have to give him that song Sugar, and compare it to like Hexagram. Chino can't do weird like Serge can.
Well, yeah, but that goes to the range, because you have a crazy fun song where he's like, "Ooh, that's in my pocket," right? And then he goes, but then you have a very lyrical song like Chop Suey, and Spiders, and even Aerials, and that shows just his breath. He can be silly and funny and do all these things in Sugar, but then like
that's That's what I'm doing, man. Like I'm going back
It's
and
hard.
forth.
And but like to your point, Chino doesn't have that.
That's so maybe.
That's tough.
Do you see? I'm
unsettled.
I won't kick you out.
This is what I'm saying. The
Gwen
song
Stefani.
BYOB.
Here we go with ska again.
BYOB and Prison Song had me thinking about
Yeah,
it because of the way, like,
Prison Song, man.
what's it? The
Those
other,
are great ones.
I blank on his name, but the other person that sings with Surge
Oh.
also helps in most of the songs.
Yeah.
But I
mean,
think
yeah,
it's
I'm gonna have to
either
get
as
this
like
guy's
a
name.
background voice or just to compliment Surge in what he's saying.
Yeah.
So
hear
I
ya.
believe that Surge has a more vocal range than Chino does.
You know, this is gonna
Yeah.
bug me.
This isn't about me. I think okay. His name is Darren.
Darren, yeah.
Darren.
Okay. So yes. So like Serge and Darren singing. So like, why don't you ask the kids at Tiananmen Square? And then dun, 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 dun. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
they get that.
Yeah.
Complimentary.
They're
complimentary.
complimentary. But what I'm saying is Chino could do both of that.
He can, because Chino
could.
has
See,
the lyrical
he does
range.
have the
He has the
lyrical
falsetto.
range.
He has the low
And he-
register and he has the upper
but
register.
he can also change the tone of his singing as well.
Yeah,
It's
he
not
can.
just the range. So like I get that part, but then you go to songs like Sugar where
Yeah.
it's just so weird, like in such a good way.
Such a fun song to play.
It's
on bass,
such a-
by the way.
It's just a fun song to listen to.
I
And-
think okay, so another way to explain this would be like they kind of sing the same things, but Chino Moreno is in like Times New Roman and Surge is in Comic Sans.
I thought you were gonna say wingdings.
Wingdings.
No, that's Cold Chamber.
Okay, yeah.
So if you think about it, Chino's like more serious, right? If don't like forgive me if I'm wrong, but Surge can get serious, but he can also just be like super silly like Sugar.
So System of a Down's a lot more sarcastic than people.
Yeah.
want to
They're
admit.
satirical.
They're
Yeah, they are.
satirical,
They're satirical.
very
They are.
sarcastic and cynical. So the music has that tone.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think they're just so different
They're.
and so similar at the same time. Like,
I'm gonna pin this to it's an apples and oranges
yeah, I
comparison.
think this is a matter of taste, kind of.
It is.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love both bands. I'm gonna rock out some toxicity in the vinyl tonight.
So-
just to
So now I'm
Get
gonna have
them.
to listen to all Paramore albums.
we
All
got Weezer, we got Paramore,
All
we got
System of a
All
Down.
System of a Down.
throw in
Yeah.
And
Linkin
throw in all
Park.
Maroon 5 because
Oh, because I hate Maroon 5.
you know what? Instead of going to Stefano, I should have said Adam Levine.
Adam Levine.
Oh,
Ooh.
God.
Ooh. Don't say his name 3 times.
All right, so Madman said, in order to, I guess, elevate the argument, we should play Main by Deftones because Surge and Chino both sing on this song.
Oh, there's a collab. That's right.
But I have something to say.
Are we gonna do it impromptu?
Yeah, I don't have any.
Musical?
I don't have any like.
Okay, bear with us,
sidetracked.
folks. I know you've been on with us for a long time, but I think this is very important.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Long
I
episode.
do have to say I don't know who this song was written for, or if it was written for both, or if it was written for one and somebody was like, "Oh, we should feature this guy." So
Okay, let's do it.
I have never, and I also haven't.
Or
listened
maybe
to
they're
this
just
song.
buddies and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
let's do a song together.
All right, let's listen to it real quick.
Okay, let's do it. You're Stephen Carpenter.
We'll go through the whole thing. We'll
Still
leave
good
the
song.
we'll leave the copyright.
You
Chino
can't
can
do
be lyrical.
See, Serge can't do that though. I don't think.
But I don't think that's
Yeah.
Deftones is so good.
It's such a great song.
Oh no, this is an awesome song.
Yeah.
That's something that Chino goes to too, is the
Yeah.
like raising his voice kind of like that.
All right, pause the song. So you have the classic Chino, right?
Yeah.
Kind of croony, lot of range, dynamic.
Dynamic. There's a word. There's
Very
the word.
dynamic. And you know it's Chino singing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's something too. These two guys have very, very distinct voices.
Yes.
Yes,
If you
they
hear
do.
them on any other band, you'd be like, oh, that's Surge, or oh, that's Chino.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring in Surge.
I love that like little whiny.
This is quintessential Chino right here.
Oh yeah. I forget when Surge comes in.
I thought so cool.
His voice is so much more haunting though.
Yeah.
It's totally like an opera.
He's like, it's like a singer. I don't know how to say it though.
So it doesn't have the same presence on the song, but
But he's matching Chino's
Yeah.
longer, drawn out note.
Yeah.
yeah.
And he doesn't do that in System.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess I hear Surge more as like a European singer where it's like, whoa, 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 right? And then Chino has more of a Western feel, I guess, where the singing is kind of also talking at you.
Okay, play Sugar by System of a Down.
I think Surge is about to come on again. Hold on.
Oh,
Classic tuner.
it's like Surge can't out Chino
Yeah.
on his song, and I'm pretty sure Chino can't out Surge
Yeah.
on his song. They're very different. I get what he's saying, but
He was Chino with the upper register.
yeah,
But that's what I'm saying too. It's on Chino's band, so I don't want to make a definitive argument based off of this song. This was an example given by Madman to show them working together on a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. Which
so play Sugar by System of
Yeah.
a Down.
I'm gonna play my air bass.
The usual growl.
Only Surge can sing about kombucha mushroom.
Mhm.
They're just such different bands too.
Yeah.
A fun song.
It is such a fun song. I remember watching this video the first time.
What the fuck is this? Scream.
All right, now play Hexagram by Deftones. And I'm playing these two songs because it demonstrates their range.
So there's like it's a little silly. Okay.
One of my personal favorites also.
And they're two such different bands too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
they are.
Because Darren and Stephen Carpenter had two completely different guitar styles.
Yeah.
Even the bass.
I think everything in the band is like completely different.
You get the scream right off the bat.
Yeah. So you
Right
see
from the get-go.
you see Serge's range kind of develop. Chino's range is in the same lines of lyrics, right?
It's also how their vocals fit in. I think, Figure, you made this point, how their vocals fit into the overall composition of the song.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
It's even right here.
Yeah. So this isn't even him screaming. Like,
Yeah.
this is like the hip hop kind of influence that you get sometimes, right?
It's hard.
And then he goes back into screaming. All right, you can stop
All
it.
right. This is hard. Damn it, Figured. You're going to have me thinking.
Yeah. All right.
I don't.
All right, I've got another word for Madman here.
Right. Apples to oranges.
I think it's a matter of preference, I think.
And honestly, it's a matter of preference from day to
And
day.
honestly, I can't
Exactly.
and honestly, I can't really pick right now. Like,
I don't want to.
yeah, I'm a Deftones stan,
I will
and
say,
I can't pick right now.
I will
Madman.
say this is Madman the admin again, but I think like on Swerve City especially, like you don't see Chino go to like his coarse
Yeah.
voice as often. Like I think that's something he does. He can be very coarse with his voice, but he can be a lot more. He can be very smooth too. Not as smooth as Surge can, but I think his voice can be very polarizing. Like he can be on one side and then jump to the complete opposite.
It's like Chino's range is like here because he can go the softer, whispery kind of stuff, like in Teenager, and then all the way over here, and then Surge is like this,
But
this exactly. I think that's what it is.
I mean, they're so different. I think this is what I'm having a problem with.
Yeah.
They're so different. They sing different music.
Yeah.
So it's not apples to oranges to me. I don't know.
Is it
Man.
like
This is
Gala apples compared to Honeycrisp apples?
maybe.
I'd like to
I was just gonna
disclose
go
I'm
green
not.
to red.
It's green apples to red apples, guys.
I'd like to disclose I'm not like discrediting Chino or discrediting Surge or
No.
vice versa or anything. They are both insane artists, and I could never do what they do. To be completely honest,
They're-
I don't think anybody could match up to them.
They're generational
Talent.
talents. There's never going to be another Surge, another Chino, another Corey, another Maynard. Never.
Adam Levine.
Who?
Oh man. Anyway. All right. Well, those of you who stuck with us, thank you so much. I think on that note, I'm weirded out now. Like I don't know. I'm gonna be listening to System now.
I got me sweaty.
Please let us know what you think.
I have
Yes.
about 19 records to listen to
Yes,
this
exactly.
week.
Yeah. Thank you
No,
guys.
We don't have time. We still have to find new music.
We stopped
I know.
my new music. I know.
For you guys.
We're gonna be stuck in our rooms with headphones on
Yeah.
for the whole week.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, we
And again, rockmental.com/help. If you're in crisis right now, or if you know somebody who needs help right now, dial 988, get some help, put your hand up, we'll put our hand out.
Ask Answer.
Yeah, check us out next episode. We'll be here talking about the same stuff, music and mental health. And if you need to see anything more, go to rockmental.com. We have all of our playlists, all of our episodes there. And yeah,
Check out our playlist, guys.
please.
Throughout the weeks, music's still there.
Yes.
Yep. Just search RockMental on Spotify.
Mhm.
And for those of you who want to listen to this on a podcast, we're on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. So
Yeah.
subscribe, like us, show us what you think. If you think we're full of shit, let us know. If you like us, cool. If you got a band and you want us to check out, please. We also have a contact form on our website, rockmental.com. Make sure to go on there. All the things. We also like to blog a little bit about ourselves and what we go through throughout the week. So be sure to keep track and subscribe and let us know what we're doing.
All right. Thanks
Cool.
for watching, guys.
All right.
Have a great day.
All right, RockMental out.
Keep rocking.
Yeah.